shout out, of course, to Malta Gaming, our official title partner of this tournament. Of course, the home of gaming excellence here. See the side change coming in for the X-Smash camp as they up to go on to the CT start for this one. But yeah, as I do agree, the veto has gone fantastically for AGO, and a serious opportunity ahead of them. This could very well easily be a 2-1 result in those last couple of maps here, Dweg. And I'm guessing that's what your prediction is going to go on this particular series?
Look, I'm actually not. Like, even though I think the veto is favoring the AGO camp pretty well, I still have to think, you know, I don't know if this is a fluke run from AGO. I don't know whether it's just when they've come into Malta Vibes that they've looked really good, because I'm looking at what they've been able to produce these last couple of months and honestly have not been hugely impressed. So I'm going to go 2-1 to X-Smash, even with the veto coming out very nicely for the polls.
I'm actually going to go, I think it could be 2-1 for AGO. I think they're on the rise.
Okay.
It was a bit of a risky call, because again, this is like I was saying earlier, you got the established elements of X-Smash and what they've been able to do against AGO in the past, being consistently strong against them, and then you've got the AGO side who are now starting to find their rise, and they're, you know, they're starting to really like feel the... what's the word? They're definitely feeling like they're coming into their own as of late. So for me, like I'm sort of like, you know, trying to predict the momentum and seeing whether or not it continues to go up from here. But you can see that LootBet themselves have gained quite the liking to the way that AGO played in the past. Dead set even on the odds. And if you fancy one team or the other, then you can go ahead and make those bets with our LootBet odds by clicking the banner under the Twitch channel. You can get 10 free CS:GO spins and a €100 bonus on deposit at LootBet. So yeah, I mean. This match probably could be the closest one we've seen so far in the tournament here, Dweg.
Yeah, it really could do it. I'm really excited. I mean, you look at those odds and you think, damn, you could not get any closer than that between these two sides. And, well, really, I'm hoping that the score lines are going to be the same, Jay. We're obviously going to see AGO starting up on the T side, while the X-Smash boys will start off on CT. And honestly, considering going into Mirage, it is X-Smash's map pick. I'm really keen to see Fates onto that big green gun. You know, for most of his career has been a rifler, now been moved over to that AWP role, and for him I need to see a lot of progression, need to see them hitting shots early on, because you've got to think going into this matchup, you've got to try and out-orb MHL, who is the king on this Polish side.
Again, he has been a little bit weird with the main core of the XCOM AGO side, but do not count him out, as the polls will go to the T side. Start X-Smash on CT with a defuse kit and a smoke for Grox. You've got utility out of the phone and Oscarish, and straight up Fiku's going to shut down the first. Shox and Grux getting 2 kills back of their own right. Crossfire set towards his mid position will try and force the T-side players back, and with the amount of advantage they will be able to do so. Disco blocked them executing phone over towards the apartments next up. So 4 versus 2 for the CT side.
And look at the aggression coming out from X-Smash. They're trying to take the fight. They get very aggressive around that connector to try and take the mid face. Disco Doppelin is just pushing so far up in the apartments. And, well, for XCOM AGO, they're in a 2-on-4. Yes, they might be able to get a bomb plan at this B bomb side, but this is a great start to the round.
USP is cross-firing here. Ready and raring to receive the X-Smash lineup. It's Oscarish with the bomb. First player to exit out the apartments, and this bomb being dropped here could be everything for the AGO side. Utility goes down, taps up, continue. Damage done to the likes of Groovy. Still looking for Oscarish on the bomb site, as he also takes a little bit of tag damage on the exit. USP in, if Shox gets Groovy, it's all up to Oscarish now, tapping his way, desperately looking for the kill against Bubble, but just couldn't land his headshots, couldn't land any of the bullets, and AGO with a brilliant start on the CT side.
Oh, that's a good start. That's a really good start. Great intent coming out from X-Smash. I love the way that they're not playing scared. They're not playing passive. They're not playing deep in the sights. They're looking for that information. They're looking to try and take that early engagement. And, well, for AGO, it got pretty much shut down within the first 20-odd seconds in the round. They weren't able to get a bomb plan at that B bomb side. They weren't really able to find too much at all. So it is just going to be pretty much Glocks across the board for the T side. And you've got to expect that this should be a pretty easy second round coming out for the international side.
Last time from Shox takes out MHL for a start. The Glocks are in across the entire board. No investment coming out from the T side as they do get picked apart. Fakes, in fact, gets a USP kill, which is already pretty impressive. And Shox triples up all in all. So there you go, 2-0 on the start. AGO not losing a single player there on the conversion eco. Now the rifles come out for X-Smash early. AKs across the entire T side board. Opportunities are abound here. The investment Need to be seen here as a brilliant start comes in, of course. And the scouts will be out for Fates.
And for X-Smash, again, I mean, look at this intent in trying to get aggressive. We're seeing Bubble. This is a bit of an uncharacteristic angle, kind of playing around the railing there towards the short face, but this is a lot of nades out to the B bomb side, but this is a complete fake. They're trying to pull the rotates over, and they've done a really great job in doing so. There are 4 CTs at this B bomb side, and they've now got jungle control. I love this strat coming out from AGO.
Furlan dodged the second player, refaces it, trying to do damage to Faces on 17 HP, and now he's a dead man. Fiku coming out of Palace. Grox is going to play carefully. Will he look for the bomb planter? He didn't see it crossing. They have no idea he's here to this corner. This could be a beautiful, beautiful flank and lurk play. Will they check it? Will anyone decide to check it? The bomb's going to make his way up here. This could be so dangerous. Grox could be in with everything at this stage. Utility out to try and smoke off Palace. I want to check the bomb site. The flashbangs come over. Groovy moves up. It's not seen just yet. Open spray. Here comes Fiku to drop. Groovy will also fall, and Grox makes his position work to a 3-on-2 advantage.
Oh, Grox does so much work, but I don't know if it's enough because we're back into the 2-on-2, and it's all down to Bubble, but he does have a big backstab. Can they expect this play to come out?
Making his way up into the ramp position. 33 seconds left. The bomb's been dropped in the open. They've seen him. They're taking his head off his shoulders. They started things off for AGO at long last. A good start from X-Smash there on the CT side. The rebuy is coming in very, very early on here, as he upgrades to the SMGs and the scouts to M4s across the entire CT board.
And I tell you what, that's a really nice round coming out from XCOM AGO. I mean, we saw a great play coming out from Grux. He stood for so long around that firebox position. You're able to get 2 fantastic kills onto Fiku and Groovy, but it gets traded back. And XCOM AGO, it is a good start in terms of the rifle, but they need to be able to find a little bit more and find that conversion. No kits up on the CT side and not a great amount of utility. So this could be a chance for XCOM AGO to win a convincing gun round.
Out of the gate, straight into the A site. Smoke down from Grux will try and hold them off, but it will just bloom in the midst of it all. And the bomb plant shouldn't be secured here for MHL. No casualties, no damage sustained across the entire board for both teams, so a full-blown retake should come through from X-Smash. No defuse kit, though. They haven't bought that crucial piece of the belt. Oscarish does tap up Disco Doppler, take him down. Falls to 31 HP, does not know that Grux is also there towards ticket booth. He finds Fates, and Fiku finds another here. 3 picks coming for Grux and Shocks, though. So back to an even standing as the CTs do manage to maintain control. Furlan should have been heard by Shocks up here. The smoke's on site. MHL will spray on towards one. One more player spotted at the edge of the danger box. Time's ticking away, and Grux does not have the time for this. He will get his 3rd kill, grab the AK, run for the hills, and you can see the 2nd back to AGO.
And I'll tell you what, it's another really good round coming out from XCOM AGO. It wasn't the cleanest in the sense of the trades, but what they do is they set themselves up for a simple execution to that A bomb site. They have Furlan as an incredibly late lurk out towards the B bomb site in the apartments, Jay. They plant 4 connector, so it allows Furlan to be able to get eyes onto the bomb. Yes, the CT smoke out top connector, and Furlan has to try and make a play because they've lost so many trades, but the intent's there from AGO. But unfortunately, even though they've been able to win these rounds, it hasn't been the cleanest affairs just yet. And this could really be them taking the lead because Grux, yes, he saved onto an AK from the last round, but there's not a lot to back him up.
Minute and a half to go. The AK of Grux here in the cubby corner. Groovy gonna make his way forward. No idea that he's there. Single piece of info. He's playing anti-flash and potentially shoulder waiting. Sure, there is no underpass presence being held. The footsteps will be heard as Groovy wait for a flashbang before he takes aggressive face, it seems. Push up from Bubble towards his mid position with the USP. We'll hope to catch off some info, maybe even a good headshot or a kill. All the utility starts pouring into the A bombs like they're expected to be a set piece, which it is. But the Nectar split could also come through, throw them off guard a little bit. Oskrish with the AK peeking forward, seeing one play out there towards the... Oh, okay, Crux with his AK turns around towards two. They're distracted. USP on bomb site will do damage to Fiku, setting up Fates for a little bit more of this. They've picked up two more rifles and bubbled in the backline. They have no idea. Furlan going to get tapped up, taken down by the next USP, and the AKs are quick to follow suit. One play left in Fiku. He'll get himself 2 frags, trying to make it 3 on the clutch. Does he hear bubble above him? Does he see the foot there towards the ladder position? USP got 19 HP to deal with, and he does secure the round. And a great recovery from Fiku, but it was not enough for the ace, and X-Smash will steal one back from AGO.
And you've got to think, how can you let that happen? It's a single AK and 4 USPs, and X-Smash come out on top. It was a simple execution once again to the A bomb site. They had 2 players making their way up through con, but you're right, the distraction was pulled away from top connector and short at the same time. And well, X-Smash, they get given an absolute gift. XCOM AGO, money line's not great at the moment. They have to force the investment through, and Fates isn't going to hit the opener. Actually takes a little bit of damage for it.
Yeah, attack to 30 HP. AWP, of course, being forced down to awkward stances early on in this one. Got Furlan pushing up, seeing one a bubble. Disco Doppler gets that kill instead, so a 5-on-4 situation. Despite X-Smash's major damage being done to them. The attack 9s of Co. AGO conceding the man advantage, and the second man advantage also from Grux taking Groovy down. So 5-on-3 shots, trying to find Fiku back here in connector. He will take a bit of a dink back 9 HP, but they've got all the cards here.
But I just don't understand how XCOM AGO are pressing up through mid, but they've got to try and regain that bomb control. So all this like deep mid control they've gained, they have to fall back and pick up the bomb.
Waits gets MHL, Disco doubling gets Fiku, and suddenly Oskrish is left alone. A 1-on-5 scenario, and slowly but surely X-Smash will pick apart the AGO camp. And Galil going to find some sort of exit frag. Has given up his position now as he expected a pre-fire position to take out Grux, but Bubbles there for a quick response on the AK-47. Nice and easy. There it is. 4th of the board. Oh, Smash. The eco should come through from AGO. Yeah, basic pistols, no investment it seems, not any utility even. And it should be a clean-up round from X-Smash.
It certainly should be. Fate's not quite yet hitting the full potential with the AWP, so we'll have to wait and see if he can get it going in round number 7, or maybe into the next round for when the rifles come out for the T side. And yeah, should be a clean-up. Shouldn't see a single kill go in the way of the XCOM AGO side. One thing that I certainly have seen in these last few rounds, Jay, is how much intent is coming out towards that mid face. There's a lot of the time a player towards short, out through connector, Fates in window room. So it seems like for X-Smash, they want to try and at least establish control out from mid rather than just giving it free range to their opposition.
One boost seen, other players popping out towards mid from the AWP will get himself out of dodges. Grok slides up 3 nice simple frags, tapping his way through. Fiku will find a trade back, but as his teammate falls, he's the last man standing. Last man dead. Smash and make them up towards 5 rounds now on this CT board. A nice simple anti-eco cleanup there. Again, Fates with the fantastic communication, setting up his teammates to work in that mid position. The rifle's out for AGO, unable to get the major damage done to the CT camp. So their money can start to bolster. The rifles have got to do double the work here for AGO to bring back a decent stance here on T side.
And, well, for AGO, they need to get a little bit of momentum going here. They need to be able to get a round success. A little bit of information being found from Oscarich, spotting out a com player and a window room player, but at the moment he's just trying to sell a bit of a fake. He's alone through mid, he's got the rest of his teammates regrouping out, and this could be a palace pop.
Indeed it is. The M4 unable to deal with it. Neither is the second player. The AWP of Fates, seeing one catching off Groovy next up. Gonna have to reface in. A ton of damage has been done to the HP numbers of the T-side forces, so rifles can swing in, get some majorly easy kills, in particular Disco Doppler running his way up, cut up by the smoke here. Nades from Bubble will try to do his damage, but the bomb plant secured here. Fate's caught off by MHL, good kill. With him and Furlan still being very, very low, and Bubble and Disco in a 4 versus 2, it looks like they're going to concede the bomb site, concede the round back to AGO, save their weapons because the money's still looking a little bit shaky. Another exit frag on Fiku will find one good kill, and Incendiary back towards a low HP player's position. It won't catch him off though.
And unfortunately there for X-Smash, I don't think they will realize of how quickly that was going to come out. We'll just see a single flash coming out from that palace position and just running out. Yes, Furlan and MHL were incredibly low, but the trades did not come out in favor of the CT side, and maybe they could have gone for it, but you know, again, they don't know how low their opposition is. They don't have a great amount of utility, and they're playing the long game. They realize they go into it, they lose the round, the money line is not as built as it is at the moment. They can buy into round number 9. It's no problem whatsoever. So a little bit more of a safer approach coming out from X-Smash, and well, at least it is a third round coming out for the Poles. And again, I mean, one person we spoke about in the pre-game was MHL to step out. So far, he's being a little bit quiet on the T side.
Yeah, only a handful of kills and only a handful of opportunities presented to him. And at the same time, AGO have been pushed back on their own round numbers. X-Smash are most definitively in the lead. MHL currently playing a very passive position at the moment here. He's kind of bunched up with the teammates in the apartments, not really given a chance to entry frag or anything major with his angle. He has got an AK, so it's not quite the AWP just yet. Smoke in from Disco Doubling and the buy a bit of cover as they exit out of the gate here. Furlan's going to find that opening kill. Groovy gets dropped. Fiku rounds the corner. He's going to get decimated for a double frag, a 4 versus 3 situation right now.
Bomb still yet planted, still a fair bit of utility to work for the CT side. And again, so many players are tagged up. Furlan and Fiku incredibly low. And well, X-Smash, they're going to go for this here. Fates in towards the market position. 2 players to try and back him up out from short.
AK is looking on, Furlan in the back lines, Fiku keeping position held towards the market entrance. They are very slow about this X-Smash. They may consider another save. Still 2 kits in. They're both going to make their way out from short. Spray through from the AK. Drops to the hands of Fates. A great response. Fiku can find the trade back, but they need to get on site and stick the defuse right now. They're dead out of time. Fiku will hold on. Spray back on one player. See shots in the back. Take him down. Will go up with that bomb, but does get a 4th for AGO.
And you're certainly right there, Jay. That retake was incredibly slow. Yeah, we saw a fantastic shot being hit from Fates with the AWP, but they had to try and get one player to stick the bomb and Grux to see if he can just hold down and take down Fiku, but it just wasn't the case. And, well, that's a great clutch coming out from Fiku. Really been impressive so far today. And a tactical timeout coming out for the X-Smash side. The money line isn't great, so it probably just has to be a half-bar attempt from them. But we could see a tied scoreline at this point, Jay.
Indeed we could, with the confidence brimming from X-Smash now being responded to by the AGO side. This could be where the tides start to turn. A tactical pause being called by the CTs. These then realize that they are in trouble here, Dweg. So, potential and possibility. AK's the AWP, the MAC 10 in for Furlan, a scout out for Disco Doplin, and the set piece looks to come through from AGO towards that A-bomb site. I mean, they're staying on the pistols here with 2 players. Semi-aggressive, very aggressive from Shox. Is seen by Fiku as he drops that man very quickly with the headshot. Nice and simple to the 5 versus 4. Deagle from Grux sees 1 player crossing, firing away, giving up his position. The scout there to support it, and the rest of the CTs are on the way to try and hold them off. XCOM won't make their way early into the site just yet, but they will get that plant down eventually to the 5-on-4 now.
Disco Doplin just trying to see if he can work with a little bit of a gap out towards Palace, but unfortunately the timing just not there, and a lot of the spams coming out for the CT. Look at Furlan though, I love this position, getting aggressively and trying to see if he can get into the back lines of the CT side, but well, I'll tell you what, great set piece coming out from AGO, not losing any players just yet. And, well, Grux is going to be able to find one, but Furlan is quick on his tail out from the window room position. MAC 10, oh, bit of a sloppy spray, but in the end, it's only going to be bubble left. And, well, XCOM AGO, they have been able to tie us up.
Yeah, there we go. The Poles doing pretty well so far in this T-side half. And, again, by comparison to their previous map-ups against the AGO side when it comes to Mirage, it could well be a much worse affair, all things considered. course, if you do want to get some 6 skins, go to Hellcase and use the codes on screen for your 15% refill bonus and for some free opportunities. 5-5 on that board, and I mean, it's great for the AGO camp because like this is more rounds on a T side against Smash than any other match before against this squad.
Yeah, they're certainly showing that they can be very competitive on this map, and well, it shows by the scoreline at least. X-Smash, again, putting a lot of presence out towards mid, but for XCOM AGO, we haven't really seen too many defaults out from mid. A lot of the time, it's been, you know, the A set piece, a couple of players lurking in the underpass to try and split up through connector, and oh, bubble. This is a lot of information, at least pushing this far aggressively.
Yeah, M4 out, ready and raring to receive. Smokes down from his teammates to keep him backed up. Farland pushing further forward here to make his way out from the apartments area. Oscar should be there potentially to provide utility support, or is it the other way around? Seems like it will be a couple of flashes and smokes over. Farland has no idea this player is so close. Second flash will come in, another second T-side player out there. The spray is good for Oscar, and he does take the man down. Meanwhile, Fiku looking to strike in to the A bomb site. Spray from Grux takes him down. Groovy finds a trade. Disco Doppler finds a trade back. And Oskarish and MHL, last 2 players left. 38 seconds, and the Bombers basically committed to the A bomb site. It can't afford to rotate back out towards B. They've got to run all the way through the apartments if they want to make this work out. Both players going to make their way out of Palace. Oskarish ready to enter into the site. And no one's directly watching his position either. They're going to go slow and burst in with a little bit of a flash and a smoke in from the AWPer. And time is so of the essence here for AGO. If they make one big misstep with the time being this low, then this could be disastrous for their round. And indeed, Oskarish going for the MHL to save. And 6 goes back on the board for Smash.
And one thing that AGO have done a fair bit at the moment, Jay, on their T side is they're trying to pull off a lot of fakes. We're seeing a lot of presence over towards the B apartments when they make their A take. And I think what X-Smash are getting to here is the fact of, considering they're trying to pull out so many fakes, we don't need to over-rotate. We can try and get aggressive and see if we can cut off some information. And straight away, Bubble gets that first kill onto Furlan. He gets traded, and they only rotate one more player of Fates out from mid into that marker position to hold B because they know we've been hit with a lot of fakes before. Let's just keep the A gamble.
Orb straight up to his mid position. Good kill from Bubble. Follow up from Fates. Nice and easy for the CTs. Of course, the forced investment from AGO already starts to get picked apart. 3 more players left in Palace. They've got Grux to deal with. Secondary smokes coming in from his teammates to keep him covered. But as soon as these flashes come out, he's going to be ready for all 3 of the T-side forces. And Smash, X-Smash. A bit of a light setup here towards the A bomb site. If they do overwhelm Grux, they could secure a bomb plant, but the retake from there should be simple enough for the T-side.
And honestly, they can probably retake X-Smash rather than looking for more kills. They've got a 5-on-3 advantage. They've got a hell of a lot of utility. They haven't taken any damage yet. They can just play passive on the sites. And for XCOM AGO, considering this is a force buy, a bomb plant is absolutely necessary.
Yeah, at the very least a bomb plant to get them back into a decent stance here. AWP of MHL looking, spotting, tapping, not quite connecting the kill to Grux. A tag against him will leave him semi-weakened as Fiku gets that deagle kill. Groovy follows suit onto Shox as well. So 3v3 now. The trades are coming in for the T-side camp. A bomb plant should be secured here away from the CT spawn. And a backstab coming in from Fiku that could work up so many wonders here. The AWP sneaking around the deagle, gets 2 headshots. Simple as that. With MHL finishing the job with his own orb. That's a beautiful 6 for AGO to find.
Oh, that's really disappointing from X-Smash. They had such a great advantage. They had a 5-on-4 and, well, the entries were so nice. That double kill. I mean, that's very difficult with the, you know, the recall reset from the deagle. And timed fantastically coming out from Fiku. And I've got to be honest, Jay, I was expecting a bomb plant at most, and, well, they end up getting a round success there. And that's forced X-Smash on pretty much a complete eco. Just a couple of upgrades, a little bit of armor onto Bubble. And this could be them taking the lead on Mirage.
Could very easily be. I mean, 2 picks against pistols. USP for Shox is going to be an unknown element unless they look up and check it. That's where he gets one. Oscarish barely survives, but that could have been a second kill for X Smash. I mean, fortunately, they are getting the trades back on AGO, so it would have been probably a 2 versus 3. And it stands 1-on-4 for MHL as he cleans up that final frag. But yeah, scary moments there for the AGO side. Do get 7 on that T side board, and as you mentioned, take the lead away from the early Smash start. A couple of tie-ups over the course of this half, but for the first time, AGO a round ahead here. With the buy-ups coming in for X Smash, it will look a little bit weak. This could be their chance to extend their lead to 2 and take the T side half.
Yeah, certainly. And I mean, they win out this round, and you pretty much can say that they've got a good chance of ending it 9-6 in their favor. Ferlin, we see a little bit of double AWPing on the CT side from him, but on the T side, it is not going to be the greatest of starts. But Fiku, I'll tell you what, 17-9, he's really been impressive in finding these really impactful kills at the moment.
Feels like the redemption arc has been completed, I feel like, you know, like jumping in as the new kid, you know, having heavy criticism about his performance not being the star player that we hoped it would be, and now, well, here he is turning up in whole. And if you're using X Smash as a measuring stick, like, what a series to perform in so far. It is only early doors in the first map of our best of 3. AGO having a lead and looking like they want to take that B bomb site. They've got 2 players to defend against them. Fates with the AWP on short. Disco with the M4 on the site. 2 more players could rotate from a very long position. As the smokes come in, it should just be these 2 players to overwhelm, and if they do so, it may be a save call from Grux and Shox. Here come the smokes, here comes the utility, straight out into the apartments. AWP of Fates watching, the smokes keep him blind. Disco Dockland's about to receive a ton of pressure. Desperately trying to isolate one player here. He swings out to the back lines, but unable to get the kills. Fates can respond to a 3-on-3 scenario. Bomb plant can come down whenever they want here for AGO, just facing away from the flashbangs, and it is secured on default. And now retake mode for X Smash.
And they've got to be thinking about the save. I mean, they've got a couple of kits, but that's a great shot coming out from MHL to follow up with 2. And well, Grux, surely he can't go for this now. 1 versus 3 attempt. All of his teammates have fallen. And MHL, he sees exactly where he is. This AWP is on fire. And he hasn't had the best of games so far, but this, I mean, the confidence to jump up onto the barrel and take the shot. He could have just waited. He could have said, you know what, hold on to the rifle, it doesn't really matter, but MHL, he doesn't give a damn.
Look at Fiku's performance. That 3K could be the kickstart to give the AWP of AGO this startup in this map up. Only 8 kills, but, you know, again, with Fiku being on 18, Ferlin being on 10, right now, the big performers for AGO are standing up. Oscarish looking for mid-control here on round 15. AGO have the full-blown buy. A force up from X Smash, we'll see. And auto shotgun 2 for Marcy's 2 Deagles. And probably around a disaster right now for the CT cam. They do some early damage to Oscarish, at least the solo player here in the mid-control. But the main presence is going to be out towards the A site here.
And X Smash, they do have, again, a bit of a heavy stack towards over this A bomb side, but look at the utility. These set pieces have done very great jobs of trying to force CTs out into the open, and Shox, well, just completely blind. He's just a sitting duck at that point. And for X Smash, I mean, they're trying everything. They're doing so much spam through the smokes, but they haven't really been able to connect on too much.
Yeah, 5-on-4 situation, and right now AGO are looking good. Spray from Ferlin, gets Grux for another good kill. Tap up continuing, Disco Doppling and pick apart Oscarish. Good kill from Groovy comes up against the man, but 2 players, now 1 player. Bubble will find a good XM kill back in the back lines. Now let's look to that AK, get a secondary headshot. After smokes to the flashbang, awkward spray though, no idea where to aim. And there it is, a 9-6 half for AGO. And again, to reiterate, they have never had a half like that on Mirage against X Smash. In fact, I haven't gone through the entire history, but I'm pretty sure they've never had a half like that at all against this Smash camp.
That's insane. This is really them stepping up. I mean, we saw them against Simon. They got 10 rounds on the T side. Now it's going to be 9. When we saw them against Forza, they started T. They got 9 rounds. So it seems like a bit of a common trend at the moment. They're getting good starts on T for Mirage. And, mate, I'm heavily impressed by this AGO camp really showing up when needed. And Fiku in particular. And you got to think for X Smash, you look at that side and you think, wow, Grux had a pretty good start on CT. The AWP was not even seen on that CT side. Like, we saw it come out a few times, but I can't even remember Fates hitting a shot with that AWP.
No, it was it was a beautifully played sort of a half there from AGO, but some lackluster performances from X-Smash. You mentioned, Fates couldn't quite kick up in the right, kick up as much dust as he really wanted to. And yeah, Grux and Shox and Bubble were trying to make up ground for it, but Fiku was the main man of the AGO camp. 19 kills already, and again, it feels so good to see this kid do as much as he promised to, do as much as he should really do. But for the XCOM-led camp, have a CT side now to contend with. It's a good shout at this one. A very fun little time, I feel like, for the Polish squad. Again, with the recency of the recent series they've had against X-Smash, with the history between these two teams, if you use them as a yardstick, this matchup can show exactly how far AGO have come since their last meeting. Yeah, no, they certainly have, and I would even say, like, just the last month, I don't know what's happened. I don't know whether, you know, it's Oscarich sitting down with the players and going, guys, like, we're really in a slump at the moment. We need to change something around, but it's as if something's changed. I'm not sure what it is, and I hope to find out. But AGO, they're out of this slump. There is no doubt about it. The results that we have seen from them in the Malta Vibes event so far have been phenomenal. And, well, they need to continue. That's for sure. I mean, we've seen a very good first half from them on Mirage. We've still got potentially 3 maps in this series in the semi-final. And even getting onto the CT side, you've got to think, right, Furlan can get out that double AWP if he wants to. MHL, I'm sure they're going to try and get him the AWP as soon as they've got the money for it. So things can only get better from here. There's so much breathing room, so much potential, so much growth room, and, you know, with MHL finally kickstarting his AWP skills on that T side, the end of that T side, obviously, comes down to trying to carry it into the CT half next up. So a lot of potential for AGO, but for X-Smash, it really comes down to trying to block off that potential. And again, with their you know, results on Mirage being as confident as they have been, with some of the matches they posted up against, you know, some very competent teams in the you know, in the tier 2 and even the tier 1 scene. You know, they even have a victory against Complexity, which is something absolutely mad. Yeah. You know, they've had a close match against Forza, who are a team that are constantly known as a really good sort of a very sort of competent squad in the tier 2. I mean, obviously, you know, AGO did beat them in that last round, but like right now, there's a lot of experience that say that Smash should still be able to do major damage on the T side half, that they'll be able to you know, turn some of their win rates back around here on our offensive side. And statistically speaking, I mean, the T side is actually the strongest side here for X-Smash and Mirage. I mean, one thing to kind of take into account of what I've seen on Twitter recently is that the fact of Fates has had a couple of health problems recently, and that's why we actually saw quite a few stand-ins coming in for this lineup in the last couple of months. We saw Safe standing in for a couple of maps. We saw Victor standing in for a couple of maps. So I don't know how much that plays into account. You know, obviously I don't really know the full story behind it, but that does mean that, at least in recent times, we haven't seen X-Smash on a consistent basis having this 5-man core playing officials. I'll do an extended pause here in our second half, down to some TeamSpeak issues for the AGO side. So hopefully we can get back into the action very quickly. I mean, TeamSpeak usually can be fixed relatively quickly. I mean, you know, it depends really. Like, you know, if you have like server issues, then suddenly you're in a whole world of pain. But for the most part, just reconnecting, restarting the client or restarting the server should be enough. I'm not sure what the setup for AGO is, whether they're using a public server or what have you, but based on the ticks I'm hearing in my head, it sounds like we're ready to go with our pistol round, Dweg. And, well, very excited to see whether X-Smash can come back into it. They got off to a really great start at a 5-2 scoreline, and then did let it slip a little bit. And, well, look at these odds from our fantastic partner at LoopBet. Well, for X-Smash's map pick, they're no longer the favorites now, Jay. How quickly your friends can turn your back upon you. This was a dead set, even odd set from LoopBet at the very start of the map, and now they are all aboard the AGO hype train. Welcome to the club, guys, and of course, make sure you get on Salute Bet for your €100 starting bonus on deposits. Again, out from X-Smash, straight into the A bomb site. Glock straight up from Fates, taps up from Fiku, will try get an early kill or early damage. The taps up the USPs again, looking for those frags as Glock's first to fall. Shocks will trade one back for the Smash Camp. They have suppressed the CTs. They're going to bottleneck their way into the Sniper's Nest. Oscar can fight the 3 versus 3. MHL gets bottlenecked up. And Fates can return to even standing once again. But a major HP advantage for AGO. Backstabs also from Furlan. Coming in slowly. Case of timing. Oh, the P250 will swing out at the right time. And MHL left alone. No defuse kit for him. No utility. He's virtually out of time and can't afford to go slow, but can't afford to give up info. Will catch Fates for one frag. Needs to get Disco Doppler next up, but I think he's falling out of dodge, saving his Kevlar to have a little bit of an extra bonus going into the eco because it's going to be X-Smash with a pistol.
And they're 2 from 2 on pistol rounds so far. And what I love there from X-Smash is they kept fighting out through jungle. They could have certainly got that bomb down and played pretty passive in the side, played the post pull up, but no, they're getting aggressive. They're pushing out through jungle. Disco Doppler gets a fantastic timing onto Furlan, trying to backstab out through the palace position. And X-Smash, this could just be what they need to kickstart their way and get that momentum back in favor, but they've got to deal with the force by coming out from the poles.
Scout from MHL straight in, does not get that first headshot, 6 HP. Spray through Disco, Furlan the 49, Mac 10 nades up. It's actually going to be Disco the first player to fall here for this T side, so upgrade pistols are doing their best on the force by AGO. Start off. Can they keep it? I mean, the HP has been pretty well managed with the exception of MHL. So, I mean, again, these pistols could do a whole lot more if they're given the opportunity. X-Smash need to deny any breathing room from here on out.
AGO do have that man advantage, and it's going to be the split up through connector for the T side. And all it really comes down to is, can they get those pistols up close and personal? Unfortunately, it's a bit of a heavy B stack at the moment, meaning that Groovy's going to be the only player here towards this A bomb site.
CZ out, and Shocks takes out a kill, so 4 on 4. Groovy so far pushed up though, facing him from the rifles. Good scout shot from MHL. CZ peeks, bubble trades it back. Big gap in the midst of the site, but the scout could not get the kill on the player on the boost spot. 1 HP for Shocks though, 1 of 3 players left on the T side. Oscar and Fiku, I'll grab a scout out here. I think the Deagle wants to be the weapon of choice though for Oscar. She'll face in and get taken out, so... Fortunately, not going to yield as much fruit in this round as it initially promised. A good opener from AGO, but the trade's coming in from X-Smash. He did the damage, so it seems they can recover some of those rifles, perhaps, that were dropped on the T-side camp. I think they may have dropped to Galil when Grux went down. I get that. Might be a decent pickup for Fiku, but he might just settle on the Mac-10. Wait up here towards top mid. There you go. Good start from X-Smash here on the second half.
That's a very good round conversion coming out into round number 17. And what it comes down to is, look, they find the opening, or they lose the opening pick, I should say, but they're playing together. They split up connector as a unit. They're making sure they're taking the fights together. They're not giving up any widespread one-on-one aim duels, because that's not how you want to play an anti-eco force play. You want to be playing as a unit and trading as a unit. And X-Smash, they haven't had the easiest time, I want to say, on Mirage, but it looks like they may be at least able to tie up the scoreline.
Yeah, at least before the rifles come out. And the Eagle out for Fiku with the defuse kit that he saved in from that last round. Could be a bit of a thorn on their side. If he brought a smoke and he played himself on the right bomb side, could have gone for a nice old ninja. But just that upgrade pistol. I think a P250 was also bought by Oskarish there, but for the most part, it's just going to be basics for the CT camp. Get this round over and done with. If they get damage, fantastic. If not, then they will have the rifles in for round 19. The mid-control stacked up here. Disco and Fate to get themselves 2 picks. Grux chimes in as well. And last man standing is Oskarish here. 1 versus 5. And there it is. Clean up from the T side. With the M4s and the AWP possibly coming out from AGO.
They can run double orbs if they want to, but they're going to opt against it. Just go and get MHL on the AWP. And rifles to back him up. AUG coming out for Furlan. No AWP on the T side just quite yet. Might see it coming out into the next following rounds. But it would have meant that they certainly had enough money for it, but considering 5 players stayed alive in that last round, and they would have just wasted a Galil or an M4. MHL not quite making the jump up towards that short position, and occasionally what you'll see, if they do miss that jump, Jabe, they'll just try and escape throughout connector, because really you don't want to be standing alone and out through mid, just completely in the open.
Nade on from far and out here towards that short face. Smoke's going to keep him suppressed from the X-Smash side. Molotov's coming in. He's going to hear possibly some footsteps. Jumps up, faced in Disco. Dobrin gets caught and Shocks also backs out at the wrong time. Bubble will trade it. 4 versus 3. And AWP from HL did not see anyone towards Palace. They know where that bomb is for the CT camp. X-Smash trying to reposition themselves. In particular, Grux may look into the sniper's nest. A spray through from Furlan gets bubbled down. MHL has got to turn around before this player comes in and stabs him in the back. Flashes over, AWP fires up. Grux has himself boosted in, but MHL jumping out of the way. We'll see him now towards the underpass entrance. Has got to duck away, got to fall back to some even harder cover. As Fates falls, suddenly Grux is the last man left. He'll tap to the head of the first. The bomb in his control. He can't last much longer than this. MHL does get his frag in the end, but Fallen with 3, getting 10 to the board of AGO.
And you kind of have to feel for the X-Smash side. They didn't really do a lot wrong there. They smoked off the short position, and Felon goes, you know what? I'm actually just going to aggress, jump on top of the little sign that helps you boost into window room, and just gets 2 fantastic kills. Ends up finding 3 in the round. And for X-Smash, they found that mid control. They found the establishment up through connector, but they could not find the trade kills. A very nice round coming out from XCOM AGO. And here, we may see the response. MHL getting at least smoked out from his position, and X-Smash, they really need to try and take this round back.
Yeah, and they have got a bit of an opportunity. The SMGs for Groovy and Oscarish will leave the buy up here for AGO. A little bit off kilter. Damage to return back and forth from both sides. Nades up will do some more to X-Smash. And AWP of Fates hoping to get an opening kill in that mid position, knowing that's where MHL was playing last time. The AK of Fiku though, jump faces, gets the info, but does lose his life in trade. Fern will be ready to crossfire alongside MHL here. Now just left him to the only mid control for the CT side. Very passive from his position, and he may have to be forced to make his way out from short instead.
Oh, Disco Doppler, if he gets a flashbang in, this could be big. Furlan is just so blind, and this is a 5-on-3 advantage. But the thing is, Jay, we've seen these advantages come out for X-Smash before in the first half, and they sometimes can't convert it. So really, AGO, they're still in with this.
SMG of Groovy. Grux slowly pushing up to that A-bomb site. Groovy is playing the Fates firebox sort of flank. The SMG does get caught off guard. MHL will get himself 2 picks to return though. One player is super duper close. Not going to peek that bomb just yet. Disco's going to be expected. MHL reads the 3rd player on the flank. And 2 versus 2 off the back of his hard efforts. With Oscarish closing in, a retake is entirely possible for AGO. Scoping up, trying to look towards the site. Jump faces and sees where both the players are at. Oscarish can swing and catch Fates out in the open. It's all left to Shocks now. Out here with a spray. Oscarish doubles up, pulls his own way, and gets an 11th for AGO. But again, that AWP from MHL doing so much to even buy them a chance at a retake.
It's honestly insane how good MHL is. He's only 18 years old, man. Oh, that's so insane. They bring back a 3-on-5, and I had a bit of a gut feeling that there was still a chance out there, especially with the player quite close into the site with that MP9. But Oscarich and MHL making that work. The AWP finding some fantastic picks. 3 kills in the round. And well, he had a little bit of a slow start, Mirage, but he's really at least coming alive towards the end. 2 rounds of a deficit for X-Smash, and it's going to be a half buy from them.
AWP here for MHL. Going to try and take that opening frag, but the pistols do allow a certain level of pacing to come out from the T side. Quickly make their way into the mid control and establish themselves for a boost up chance. The AWP of MHL missing out his first shot, and actually getting over one with the pistols. Groovy and Fiku got a crossfire back, and they do turn it to a 3-on-3 with an M4 falling. AWP have to get pushed into to get recovered. Fiku moves in. Disco, oh, he's lurking. He's found his way in the jungle. I didn't even see this. The Tech 9 Getting information, tapping his way, spamming in against Fiku. Mount Advantage turned back to X Smash, so the pacing works wonders for them, but the nade's still back to turn us to evens and try and get another retake in for the AGO count. The bomb can't yet get secured, it's been dropped outside of the ramp position, but the pressure is on for AGO. The AWP of Disco Doppelin is the last thing left standing in the backline. Unfortunately, Fallen and Oscarish this time will be able to secure the round.
I actually really like that round coming out from X Smash. They don't get a bomb plant, which is unfortunate, but they sell such a heavy fake out that A bomb site that they actually allow a player to get boosted up of Disco Doppelin in that window room, hold on to that advantage. But unfortunately, considering it was the half by the rifles, which were able to retake that site, and XCOM AGO currently up 12-9 on X Smash's map pick of Mirage. And fast out towards mid once again for the T side. Ooh, MHL doesn't hit the first. He could get traded. Look how low he is.
37 HP, it's not a good sign. The M4 of Fiku taking out Bubble next up. Incendiary's coming forward. Nades down towards that bottom and middle area. And the first frag with the damage has been found. 44 for Fates and 63 for Grox. Two more rifles pushing in. AWP so close to the edge of the smoke. Flashes out, spray through. Shox takes down one and slings 180 in for the second. Potentially making his way out towards Sniper's Nest. Groovy can respond. MHL gets Shox back to shut him down. And now Disco and Grox. Grox gets a kill back for his own accord. So 2-on-2. And again, the CT is leaving MHL alone here towards the CT stairs. We're going to get Oscarish rotating back from the B side because the ball has been planted. It's retake mode now.
And it comes down to Oscarish and MHL to try and clutch out once again. Oscarish does spot out a player towards a bench position. Great duel coming out from Disco Doppelin. And MHL on just 37 points of health needs to try and clutch out this 1v2 with the AWP, but it's not going to come out. Grux is going to be able to find the trade. And X Smash, a very, very big round indeed. And it comes off the back of trying to see if they can force MHL back. That at the moment is the biggest thorn in the works. MHL's been able to find picks after picks. He's finding impact, and for X Smash, if they can force him out of the action, if they can force him into a position where he can't find impact, that's when they can start winning rounds.
Well, Eco going to come through from AGO. A little bit of Kevlar brought down. Deagle's coming in. Mid control, all the same here. X Smash knowing that they're at the advantage this time, knowing that they can take this aggression most confidently. Last time it was a case of throwing pistols and caution to the wind, but now it's a case of taking frags for your own right. It's a good frag coming back from Groovy at least. AK picked up on the Kevlar player of AGO, one of the only ones that they have at the moment. Beacon now Deagle towards this cubby corner. Takes some damage, takes some fights, but unable to get the kills. Oscarish also struggling to find the damage. Bubble will take out the likes of Groovy, but now the Deagle left alone here for Ferlin. Swings in, gets dealt with. 2k for Bubble. The next Smash will close out the eco now, within one of the AGO lead here.
That's going to be another eco. They're going to be on double eco status. That was actually the reset coming out for the X Smash side onto AGO. And we can really be tied up now here, Jay. One round the difference between these two sides. And Fiku, he was, what, 17 at 10 at the end of the first half, only on 22 kills.
Not enough to justify a buy-up here for XCOM AGO. So the pistol's out all the same. And this probably should be another good 12th round for X Smash. They look to turn to evens here. Been a quiet set of rounds all in all from the AGO camp. A couple of exit frags again, a couple of return kills coming in for the necessary pistols, and Groovy getting his hands on another AK with the basics coming out. AK is moving in also to the short position. The Zeus from Ferlin is not moving. He is ready to fire away as soon as they make their way around this corner. This goes Doppelin up, sees the shoulder, and he gets that kill instead. So no chance for a cheeky frag. Same can be said for Oscarish left alone. Groovy with the AK back on the B-bomb site, and with his HP numbers, he surely can't do much. Does get a decent amount of damage to Shox, but MHL last man 1 versus 4. X Smash will turn to 12 on the T-side board.
And X Smash, this, at least in the first map, I kind of want to say that they've looked better in some of these half-buy and eco rounds to be able to convert more rounds, but in terms of the rifles, you'd certainly have to say that XCOM AGO have been the better team. But the scoreline just so close at this point, 12-12. And always, when you start getting into the late rounds of the second half, it almost always comes down to who's got the better economy, because especially when you can start just resetting it and it's buy eco, you can just start to run away with it. And you know what? They do have money to go for the double AWP setup. I'd love for it to come out for Furlan.
Well, they opted for it. MHL's obviously going to buy his AWP. I mean, that's not surprising. What's the damage here, Furlan? What are you going to do? Will Groovy drop you an AWP? A tactical pause for AGO to make that decision, and of course to go further forward from here, because, well, this is the closest map of Mirage we've seen between these two teams ever. And one of the only few results that we've seen from AGO that's gone to double digits. The serious chance to upset. If they can take X-Smash's map pick, then be right in the coattails of victory, it feels. Investment coming in. M4 out for Oskrish has been decided. What's the call here? It looks like no double AWP setup from the CT side as Fiku's left to invest into his own M4. Groovy and Furlan taking their M4s. AWP of MHL. All the sniper damage out towards the A bomb site here. Going to swing into mid from Connector. These smokes down early on. Furlan with his boost out towards Shaw. Going to get very aggressive for the CT side. Shox is expecting it. Doesn't catch him off though. Furlan gets that kill. Blind through flash. Spray from Bubble trying to find the trade frag, but the AWP of MHL strikes back over against likes of Fates and doing the damage.
And I'll tell you what, I can't believe Furlan even escapes how aggressive he is towards top mid. We haven't seen that play coming out from the CT side before. It's been Furlan playing around the short position so far. But Bull, oh, two fantastic kills. And that's the man advantage given right back to the T side. And well, they can just split their way into this A bomb site. Bubble does go down, and MHL's out towards CT.
3-on-3, Molotovs out, Furlan with the AK, and the AWP pick coming in from MHL. The man advantage back to the favor of XCOM AGO. Furlan, edge of the stairs, gets the kill against his name as MHL comes in for a secondary pick, and Oskarish comes in with the M4 from jungle to clean up the round, and AGO just defend the lead here. Contested heavily by X-Smash, hot on their heels still, and Bubble for a moment felt like they were finally going to turn this back to their favor.
But the thing is, for X-Smash, you can't just rely on one player to do everything. Bubble, yes, he has such a great hold out through Connector, getting two fantastic kills, but it just, the trades aren't coming out. And the amount of times it's been MHL and Oscarich to close out the retake of that A bomb site. 13-12. Oh, great opening coming out from Grux. He pushes through the CT-sided incendiary.
And finds Fiku for his trouble.
Oh.
Shox out here. He's walking into the A bomb site. No one's covering this off. MHL has no idea this player is exited. And Groovy putting out utility. He's going to be known. That's a headshot coming through from the AK, turning around towards the AWP's position. He does cross successfully. So again, evading disaster from the hands of the sniper of the CT camp. Even pushing it to CT, getting Oscarich down. 2 players now for AGO, making it 1. The spray is good from Shox for a 3K. MHL for an ace clutch. He'll get 1, but can't even land on the second. 3 shots against Grux. But still, he stays alive at 4 HP. 13 all evened out again by X-Smash.
Oh, how many times are we going to go back and forward? I mean, Grux to just push through an incendiary to find the opening kill. It goes down to 4 HP, but the big player that round, Jay, has got to be Shox. He silently makes his way out from Palace below the balcony without being spotted whatsoever, and he finds 3 massive kills. This is going to be a very harsh eco indeed coming out for the CT side. The gamble stack at the A bomb site. Oh my, this is so down to the wire.
USPs, PT50s, XCOM AGO, stacking in on eco, out towards the ramp push. They've got Shox to deal with here on Palace, but other than that, it's not going to be a major thing for these guys at all. Osprey and Furlan will push in, try and find this player. They might even see the bomb, actually. This could be a pretty big pickup. Figu spotted it. We have bomb. No noise being made here. Crux has no idea he's about to walk straight into a headshot. And now they should realize what's happened here. X-Smash should realize the big gap in the fence they've left. The AK of Fates will turn around for one good pick. Oscarish seeing shots coming out of Connector. Does he find some sort of backstab against him? And they're going to be able to get there in time. But smoke's out from Fates. They're using all the utility they can. Shocks does turn around to those two players. And Fiku ready and waiting to receive. USP outsprays. Awkward damage done. Fiku takes Fates. Does he take Bubble next? In the midst of the smoke, he knows he's there somewhere. Swing on Disco Doppelin, and they do recover the round here. 3 players alive, but even so, AGO picking up a major advantage. Could well have done the damage there against the Smash squad.
That was a bit of a scary round coming out from X-Smash, but at least, you know, they hold on to 3 players alive. They don't lose any more players. The Orb just going to be able to come out from MHL. 14-13. Now, if XCOM AGO win out this round, they won't reset the money line for the T side, but it will be on the reverse. X-Smash going out quick out through mid, and so far, big spam damage being found. Bubble gets taken down, and Fate's incredibly low.
60 HP for the Orb of X-Smash. Again, AGO found things on the start. AWP going 4 back out of Connect to keep himself at bay. Falling towards the B-side entrances, perhaps actually gonna heam himself in jungle and Sniper's Nest through B, seeing Disco Doppelin bursting out to do damage. No kill to his name though. Shocks also pushing up, sees that player, prematurely fires. His teammate does get the frag back. Fiku and Fates in a shock trading back. Fiku still here towards Sandwich though, gets a 2K and a 2 versus 2 scenario. Backs turn towards Shocks, turns towards him eventually, and now hides back attention for the AK around that corner and lose the fight. Oscarish with 2 very low HP players will swing on the first, take him down. He's got the AWP to worry about here in Connector, and it all comes down to timing. If Oscarish decides to swing out towards mid, he'll get this kill against Fates. He heard those footsteps, he knows where he's going. Does he have info on the bomb? I don't think he does.
Oscarich might think it's B. Oh no, this is really unfortunate coming out. So Oscarich, he's playing a little bit of a gamble at the moment. Once he presses up and hears no information, he's going to know it's the A bomb site play. He could actually backstab out from A ramp, and maybe Fates might not expect that.
Bomb on the back of the Orpa, and yeah, Oscarich realizes what's going on early. And the plant to default now. Fates 1-on-1. The AWP needs to land his first shot. Oscarish needs to land his first bullet. Orp looks on to Connector, expecting some mid-control. Oscarish is going to peek up from ramp. Fates' back's turn. This is an open, easy kill, but Fate's going to be barely covered off by the danger box. Looking back towards Connector. Oscarish's back's turned. M4 rounds the corner, does catch him in the end, and just holds control. AGO will not let X-Smash get the one up above them, equalizing in the map up at 14-14. We'll go to full 30-round distance, but who is going to get to map point first?
I mean, unfortunately for XCOM AGO, their economy is not great because it turned into a 1 versus 1. So only 1 player survived. At least Oscarich picks up that AWP off of Fate, so he can bring that in for MHL to use in the following round. Honestly, I gotta be honest, Jay, I really did not expect Mirage to go this down to the wire. X-Smash, for me, it's got to be Shocks, right? These last few rounds, he's had big multi-kills. He's been able to open up bomb sites. You've got to look for him and say, right, do whatever you need to do because we need you to step up.
We stand at evens and potentially a back-breaking round for XCOM AGO if X-Smash are to take it. Even standing. Open the AKs, the M4s, the SMG, and the FAMAS coming out. And look at Oscarish taking early aggression in towards the apartments, which is where the T-side are playing at. Nice nade on damage has been done. Further utility down, Disco Doppelin enters Fiku, takes that first frag, looking for his secondary kill, could line up a third frag, not quite. Shocks keeps the trades going, but the bomb has been dropped and seen by the CT forces. Good kill from Furlan, finds one spray from Bubble, edge of the smoke catches him off guard, and now the Orb of MHL getting pressured in from Fates on short now. Back to the corner, sees the man. He's going to wait for his teammate, take him down, and now it's all to an SMG to retake this for AGO. Fantastic trading from X-Smash and Vigrubi. No kit for him, no range, no firepower. They're facing against Bubble, tap him up immediately, will burst through, take the very aggressive approach, and unfortunately it doesn't work for him. Map point for X-Smash, and it looks like AGO at the very last hurdle are going to crumble.
Yeah, it certainly does look like that is going to be the case. They go for a quick B execution for X-Smash. And look, to start things off, there's a lot of damage going their way. There's some great openings to come out for the poles, but it's the trades that come out so nicely. And to think how far XCOM AGO have come on their opposition's map pick, it comes down to round number 30, and they don't even have a decent buy.
Kill for Disco finds the first of MHL. X-Smash already starting things off. The edge of the smoke seen by Grox. That's another awkward angle to take. I mean, Gruby, it was right to assume that he was covered off. I mean, pretty well laid smoke, just not perfect. And it looks like the beginning of the end of this map is nigh. 3 players left, stacking the A-bomb site. Gamble stacking the A-bomb site. If they go towards B now, then X-Smash win.
That's pretty much what it comes down to, isn't it, Jay? A couple of man advantages up for X-Smash, and, well, it looks like they're going to be splitting into this B-bomb site. They've got a lurk out from Bubble towards the apartments. 4 players slowly creeping their way in through short, and for Fiku, he can't relay any of this information.
Missing them. Smoke starts to clear, he's seen by an AK. Dox takes him down, and Furlan and Oscarish are the last 2 players standing for the AGO retake. At this point, they have to throw themselves at this. The end of this map up here. Bomb plant for Disco Doppelin. They're still holding that B A bomb site, thinking, yeah, this is over now. Like, they got to rush into the bomb site. They've got to get some serious headshots. An amazing sequence if they can make this work. But even then, 100 HP for everybody. Good headshot from Farland. Kicks things off against Disco Doppelin. Half of the bomb timer is already ticked by, and Fates is watching over the AWP to respond. Flick back does not quite connect, so Farland grabs an AK now. Nades on, time ticking, flashbangs over, shots gets Oscarish, and there it is. Fates closing out against Farland, 16-14. An X-Smash with an easy win. Well, I don't want to say easy win, actually. It was down to the wire. In quite an unexpected fashion, again, AGO doing manic damage and somehow managing to pull one up against the opposition.
And I'll tell you what, I was very impressed from AGO coming out into Mirage. Yes, it was really down to the wire, and they weren't able to get to that last hurdle and take the map victory. But you've got to look into recent accounts. When these 2 sides are faced off against each other, especially on Mirage, it has never been this close. So really, for X-Smash, I think they might have been a little bit surprised of what AGO was able to bring to the playing field.
We'll go to a short break, and we'll find out how well they can contest on their map pick of Inferno after this. Do not go anywhere. Welcome back to Malta Vibes. We're getting into map 2 between X-Smash versus AGO. If you missed our first one of Mirage, well, I mean, you missed a bit of a doozy. AGO were this close to taking their opponent's map pick, Dwayne, and quite the affair as they managed to find their own right here. Inferno was the map pick of AGO, and, you know, positive signs for this Polish side. You know, I didn't think they'd be able to take Mirage. I thought they'd get stomped out on it, but seeing that 16-14 result, it reinvigorates my confidence right now in this squad.
It's taken, what, 7 months or so for me to really feel confident in AGO, and honestly, no, I really am. That was a great performance on Mirage. X-Smash, they just had the finesse to be able to get over the line in a very close 16-14 manner. Now we go over to Inferno, which is the map pick of AGO, and I tell you what, again, we've seen some weak results coming out from X-Smash on this map pick. AGO, they've had some better ones, but this could really be down to the wire. I mean, it's always great to see in a semi-final that we're getting close matches, close maps, because, well, there's nothing worse than just like 16-5s and 16-4s. We want it down to the wire.
Absolutely, and we may just get it down to the wire once again for this one, Blake. I mean, it definitely feels like that this team have been on the rise, you know, in the AGO camp. So seeing them be able to step up to the plate and do everything that they've been able to do so far, and again bring a close map up against X-Smash, it's a big set of results, you know, and I'm really excited to see what they'll be able to do going into Inferno. And as you mentioned, it's not been a fantastic map for the X-Smash lineup. They've had a number of very, very poor results, I think, all in all. You know, and some of them have been losses against the likes of, you know, Heroics and Endpoints, which is pretty fair because Heroic are a pretty good team. Endpoint, I'd say, are about Smash's sort of level, if not higher up. You know, but at the same time, I've also made losses to Skade, who I don't consider to be amazing in their own right. But you know, taking a look at the talents in this lineup, like, you know, like X-Smash, it's not a map that I'd feel like they'd be particularly good at, but it's like you compare that to what they're able to do over on the AGO side, and it's like, well, they play this map constantly, consistently, and they have some pretty decent results on it, and again, against some pretty decent teams.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you especially look at that Mirage game, and certainly Shox, you know, we mentioned him in the pregame, what he can do, the, you know, very young player and very new to this lineup. And, well, he had a fantastic showing, almost 30 bombs, got 29 kills in the end there. What is a bit of an interesting stat line for me is on Mirage, every single person went positive for the X-Smash side, whereas for AGO, Fiku was the only player. Everyone else went negative, but then they got 14 rounds. So a lot of the time it's like, you know, do they need players to step up, or is it just in the mid-round when it comes down to the trading? Because at least in that second half, from what I saw, it was MHL and Oscarage that were retaking A over and over again, trying to clutch. But there seemed to be holes in the mid-round, I would say.
I mean, I can agree to that to a certain extent. I think it's more of a case that, you know, like, you know, stats don't tell the whole story there, Dwayne. You know, like,
that is true, 100%.
You know,
yeah.
You know, obviously we love our stats because it makes our jobs easier. But at the same time, you take a look at the actual you take a look at what AGO have been able to do on that map, and it's like, well, yeah, Fiku was the only player that went positive. He's the only player that posted up on the majority of the kills. But even then, you took a look at Furlan, and we consider him to having a very good performance, even though he also went negative. MHL even out in that respect, and he also had, you know, a respectable little sort of AWPing. But, you know, like Fiku certainly is like standing out, not necessarily hard carrying per se, but, you know, like pulling the weight of the majority of the team in his own respect. So like we've had ourselves the opportunities to see where these you know, where these players will go very early on. I just feel like there's a bit more behind the matchup than just what we're seeing on the stat board. I think that AGO are playing very well as a team. A lot of their trade game was really good. It's when the trade started going well for X-Smash that things started to crumble for the Polish squad. So for me, like taking a look at the way things went in that last map, like, you know, there's a lot more behind it than just saying, oh, this guy got most of the kills, you know?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I certainly think that going on to a map like Inferno, we'll probably even see the impact being raised to a higher level, right? I mean, we saw Mirage. They haven't had some great results on it recently. It wasn't their map pick. Now, going on to Inferno, AGO are thinking, right, we didn't quite take the first map, but it was very close. So they've got to be thinking, considering that we've got Train as the third, they're in a very good position at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, that map veto is still going to be pretty confident for their own right. And again, with their map pick coming up next up here, which is the case of being able to focus on their strengths. Now that is, of course, being able to get your good T-side starts in, get your good your CT defensives held out, which is most likely what we're going to be seeing out from the AGO camp. There will have a couple of struggles here and there because I know that their pistol win percentage on this map is not fantastic, and in general, I think that Xmash will be able to do pretty well on the pistols. I think they went 2 for 2 in that last map, if memory serves me correctly. So they've already had those they've already had those particular standout moments, and for AGO, those struggles will be there, but most of it's going to be down to the rifles and the executions and the way things are going to play out there on Inferno. And to be honest, I don't remember a particularly bad half from the AGO side. It was always down to the other team doing particularly well that got them over the edge in a lot of their matches.
Yeah, I mean, one thing, taking into account AGO, this is their map pick. We saw them go down in the best of one against Nordavin, who made it into, well, they're into the grand final, right? So you can kind of say, oh, that's expected that they go down to Nordavin, considering how far they've gone throughout the bracket. But they got a 16-4 victory on Simon on map number 3 of their series on Inferno. And then they picked it against Forza and beat them at 16-10. And again, to mention the Forza victory, that's huge. That is absolutely massive to get a 2-0 against Forza. So going into this, AGO, they've got all the positives, they've got all the cards in their hands. The one thing that may play a little bit into the Xmash side, I don't think it will, but there's certainly a potential of experience, right? You've got 2 very young players on this AGO camp. You've got MHL, yes, he's a star at 18 years old, but lack of experience for him. Fiku's only 17, whereas for the Xmash side, these guys have been playing in Pro League. They've been, winning LANs over the course of their career. You look at Disco Doppler on teams like Fnatic, Godsend. There is so much experience at this lineup that when it comes down to the crucial maps, when it comes down to the crucial matches in the playoff standing in a semi-final, you've got to think that plays into account.
And on the flip side as well, Xmash have their own little star player in their own right. Like Shox was actually the highest fragger in the server, and he had a particularly good game. And obviously we'll be highlighting him as being like the new star essentially of this Xmash side. So right now they've got the experience to bolster him and set him up while also being able to hold their own against the new stars of the AGO side, which I think is part of the reason why they were able to do so well. Like, yeah, Fiku was doing fantastic, but so was Shox. Yeah, they did have the MHL frag in a way, but the AWP of Fates, it still went positive by comparison to MHL, who didn't actually. So, like from a stats basis, even then, Xmash are doing all right. And, they're able to outpace, I think, AGO in a lot of cases. So, I think especially on the T side where things can look particularly presentable, I think Xmash could have a fun little time on a map that they know how to play T side for. Unfortunately, I just don't think that Inferno is one of those maps.
Yeah, I mean, one thing to kind of take into account is maybe what are we going to see from Fates on the T side? Unfortunately, he had a pretty poor showing, I want to say, on Mirage. His stat line was okay, but he certainly wasn't finding the impact like MHL was. He certainly was not finding a lot of impact with the AWP. Yes, he was finding picks here and there, but it didn't seem like the picks he was finding were round winning, and that's the difference between the AWPing style of someone like Fates in comparison to MHL. So going on to Inferno, it's not a heavy AWP T-sided map, so maybe we might see him just going over to the rifle, being able to get the AK out and getting 5 AKs across the board. But at least for Xmash, if they want any chance of being able to get this 2-0, it's got to be Fates really hitting these shots. He's got to be having impact with that AWP.
No, I agree, and I think maybe just the AWP angles towards that mid and banana positions will be the best that we'll see out between these two teams. I'm certainly going to be looking forward to the way that they'll play that out. But again, the main thing for me is going to be on those rifles. I don't think that Fates or MHL is going to stand out as much as they would do on a map like Mirage, for example, or as they will do on Train if we have to go to that third map, for example. I think that certainly all eyes are going to be on Fiku and Shox for me. I think those are going to be the guys that really have to stand out. And based on how they played out in that last map up, that's already a lot of weight put on the shoulders of Fiku, but a lot of advantages go in the way of Shox for me.
Yeah, absolutely. And for Shox, he's got to make sure that he's maintaining his performance in map 2 and if map 3 if we go to it. It can't just be like, okay, yep, we fragged well in the first map, or I did well. It can't drop off. He certainly cannot drop off. He was the one in the mid-round on the T side that was finding a lot of impact. He was sneaking into bomb sites, which is what I really love. And certainly on a map like Inferno, you can do a lot of sneaking. You can do some lurking around the apartments area, seeing if you can cut off any kind of rotations. You can start to maybe squeeze your way into the B bomb side. Inferno's a map where you can certainly get very aggressive without getting noticed. And that's really what I want to see coming out from Shox, and Bubble using him into those kind of positions, because it really seems seems that when he's playing a little bit of a cheeky role and he's opening up bomb sites where no one knows he's there, that's when he's at his strongest.
Good opportunity for some of the luck elements for these two teams to come out of the game. But as we are set for our ninth round, I want to give a quick shout out to our title sponsor, of course, Gaming Malta, the home of gaming excellence, of course, providing all the prize pool and, of course, a set of boot camps as well for winners of the weeks here, Dwayne. So, I mean, I took a look at the details of that. That's insane. Like, you know, I halfway want to put a team together myself to enter just to get the opportunity at getting a trip to Malta. Like, you know, like, screw the boot camp, like, give me the 5-star hotel. But ninth round going live to get the choice aside here, Dwayne. How important will CT start be to these two teams?
Yeah, look, I don't think it will be massively important. Maybe more important for X Smash if they can get it, and, well, they're able to get the ninth round. For AGO, I don't really think it would matter if they start T or CT. I still think they've got a very good ground basis on this map, and even if they start off on the back foot, I'm sure they'll be able to come back and try and take us into a third map of this series.
We will be seeing X Smash on what looks to be the CT start here, again, as expected for the map choice aside. This is where they can do the best. This is where they will need to get their start out. The vast majority of their rounds are won on CT half, so here we go. Let's get into our pistol round and see how well they will hold their own against XCOM AGO. Again, they are at the advantage in this one. I'm certainly putting them to win this map and take us to a third on this one, Dweg. And it definitely seems like LootBet are on the same page. Think of the odds on screen right now if you want to go ahead and get yourselves involved and potentially pick those talents. If you think that maybe XCOM AGO will concede this map to the X Smash side, and you can also do that. Either way, you can get up to 100 euros on the bonus for a deposit, so just click the banner under the Twitch channel to get yourself involved. And now is the pistol round here. Utility for Furlan and Oskarish. I'm seeing 2 smokes already for this T side. So if they step towards Banana, actually one smoke going to get used out towards his mid-control. It looks like a lot of mid-control coming in for the T side and CT forces. And it goes so well for Fiku and MHL. Crossfire is set, 4 casualties sustained. This is a pistol already to the favor of the Poles.
Oh, well, X Smash, I mean, they try and set themselves up for a bit of a heavy mid-take, and, well, it pretty much gets denied instantly. Some really great entries coming out from AGO, so sharp on those pistols, and Wolf for Bubble. He was the only defender of that B bomb site, and he's going to be the only defender in the pistol round.
Bubble peeking out with the USP, looking on towards corner, looking on towards the cubby corner. Takes that one quick frag, but unable to follow up with the second. But they know where he is now. He's got no Kevlar, smoked down, but eventually just going to get tapped up, and Groovy will be able to take that final frag. So there we go. Pistol, favor of XCOM AGO, and every single card it felt like from both teams being put into that mid position and coming out good for the T side.
I tell you what, that was a great start for AGO, and that's going to fire them up. You know, I can imagine the comms being really hyped, like, come on, boys, like, this is our map, let's get off to a good start, and that is the best way to do it. Absolutely annihilating the X Smash side to start things off. Bubble, yes, he gets a couple of kills towards the end there, but nothing to be able to bring back the rounds, and, well, the force buy is going to come up. Fates does land a bit of a tag shot, but MHL, what a response.
And nice on towards Fates' head, nades up to the SMG in the back line. Oskarish will take a similar amount of damage to his teammate, but the first frag is going the way of XCOM AGO. You've got Bubble with the Deagle, smokes down, Molotovs up. Ooh, and Grok's getting a headshot to return at least onto MHL. Wallbang actually. Face are going to do even more damage against the AK that's facing up against him, looking for that kill, but neither player able to take one another down. So these default plays that work out to an even standing with a slight HP advantage to the CT side.
And Bubble does have a smoke, so as soon as contact's made towards this B bomb site, he can throw that down, see if he can buy himself a little bit of time. Already going to rotate a teammate out. Pretty slow from AGO after showing a little bit of presence, but they should continue the execution.
Flashes over, smokes up, Deagle in, Ostrich going to cross out. Seen there as the smoke blooms, Bubble able to lock onto his head, taking it down. Furlan can respond with his Mac 10. Groovy gets off of the first boost, ensures that Grux can't see him above that smoke, and the scout will fire away, but missing most of its bullets. As that smoke clears, he realizes that nobody is there to receive. He'll tap his way on towards the new box as well. Furlan with the Mac 10 rounds that corner, sees Disco, sees the second. Shots will take a frag back for his trouble. The AK struggling to deal with him, and will have a 6 HP for a 2K. And Grux left alone here with the scout, and AD can help him make his way onto the bomb site, get that defuse. Not going to happen. Fiku shuts him down. 2-0 start for AGO. X Smash now onto an eco for the CT side.
At least that round's a little bit more closer for X Smash. We saw Groovy so low at just 6 points of health, and the spam coming out from the big man of Shocks. But a 2-0, and honestly, I would say that was the T side maybe committing too much of a fight out towards mid. We saw the scouts, especially on the City side from both Fates and Grux, they just were able to keep swinging out, see if they could keep finding those shots. A 2-0 lead coming out for the Poles. And, well, there are a couple of Zeuses in the playing field. This could be interesting.
Yeah, one of the maps that you can be pretty viable with the Zeus if you're good enough. Place yourself correctly enough. Bubble in the broken wall position. Disco doppling out the apartments. He's going to face in. See, Bubble is ready for the T side to round this corner. If he gets that kill, that will be a big start again for X Smash. Utility is coming in. He smokes over. No flash, obviously, to get him in. He'll be basically suicidal. He'll get one pick and he'll get traded immediately. Oh. Did he tag him up with the Zeus? Yeah,
tagged him for 96. Yeah, very low.
I thought Zeus was a one-hit kills. Okay,
it depends on the range. Unfortunately, if you're just a little bit too far away, it's not that like one kill, one bullet. And the distance must have just been millimeters. So very unfortunate they're coming out from the Zeus, but in the end, AGO taking a little bit of damage onto Fiku, quite a amount onto Oscarich. But it will be a 4-0 start, and at least with what should be 5 players staying alive, they can start to now build this economy.
I figured in with Disco Dublin. Fate's last man left on 1 versus 5. The Deagle checking out the site, checking out the side entrances over at the church. To be a 3rd on the board for AGO, and I guess I'm getting a little bit unlucky in that respect there for the poor Zeus, but it is what it is. 3-0 for XCOM AGO. They weren't expected to win that round, but it will be Rifles coming in, hoping to win the 4th round instead. No AWP, it seems. Fates will have to go glass cannon if he wants to go there, get that weapon. And yeah, just M4 for him. 4 sets of utility across most of the CT forces. 3 sets for those who can't afford it, but the main weapons are in check. No AWP for the T side either. It's just AKs upgraded on the part of Oscarish. We'll now get to the rifle defaults here for our first rifle of the map.
And for AGO, look at the pressure coming out towards the top of Banana. Furlan very much aggressive, but he's kind of alone at this point. The rest of his teammates quite deep in towards mid. He's already taken a fair chunk of damage, down to just 34 points of health. So at least in the start of the round, some good damage being found from the X-Smash side. Unfortunately, they don't have a massive amount of utility to use in this first gun round.
No, they have used the majority of it. Trying to set themselves up on the defaults. Only so much when the execution comes in. AGO, all 5 smokes, or sorry, all 4 smokes I should say. A 3rd one just got used. Here there is the short position, going to try and force X-Smash out of dodge. Crux, no utility on his own part of things. The Molotov going to try and force him back. The M4, his teammate all the same, nades up. No damage done, but early on the HP advantage has gone the way of X-Smash, and with this execution coming in a moment's time, AGO might have a couple of problems when it comes to entering to the A site.
He certainly might, but Fates, he's going to get smoked off the position. He needs to try and rotate out towards Library. But the problem is here, now Grux is smoked off, so they're doing a really great job with these smokes. The utility, Grux does a hell of a lot of damage, and Fates, he can try and spam through. Oh, he drops that bomb, the time's low. They need to try and recover it.
With further covering fire, going to try and support him. Groovy forced to pick up that bomb, get out of dodge. Bubba gets one good pick back. They're going to continue with their aggression in 10 seconds, and Groovy does get this bomb plant down to the back wall. Fiku here on pit, seeing one coming out of Library. They should have heard those footsteps rotating out to the mid position, so now short has got to be contested. Groovy will look towards Library as Fiku looks on from the pit broken wall. Will spray up, do some damage. Unable to get the kill though as Shox takes him down. Groovy's left alone, and now Groovy is left for dead. The first on the board goes the way of X-Smash. A great retake coming in from the CT side.
And what it really comes down to is the start. They get that 3-on-3, and what it comes down to, great counter utility coming out from the CTs. We saw a really nice take, some great smokes coming out from the T side, but the flashes, they're absolutely perfect. Everyone's peeking on each other's contacts. They're finding those trades back, and with the retake, unfortunately, AGO just not able to hold off. And what it came down to was finding information pretty much straight away. Once that bomb was planted, X-Smash, they knew exactly where both of the Ts were on the site.
AWP in for MHL, looking for that first hit, unable to get it down there to that mid position. Nades on. Damage done to Shocks to make the majority of the HP advantage go the way of AGO. Still contesting here towards Banana as Bubble takes his spray, Furlan times it well to get that headshot, running rough the position. And that first frag of the round for the T side. A second player forced to rotate in and join Shocks. That's 2 AKs here on the B site. So if AGO want to push forward, they're going to have to deal with the majority of the firepower of the CT forces. No EWP is in for them, but MHL continue to try and strike back in. Will join his teammates in Banana. Fallen gets another good peek in for a 3K, 8 HP, and he single-handedly overwhelmed the B bomb site. That's going to be another round for AGO.
Mate, those entries to come out from further were unreal. It starts off immediately. Bubble's just spamming towards the top of the broken wall, and Furlan goes, okay, this is a good opportunity to swing. But to follow up with 3 kills, and well, X-Smash, it seems like all of the defenders that rotate over to that B-bomb site just can't do anything. Fiku's the only player that gets traded, and AGO, it comes down to one man to open up the round.
Honestly, just beautiful shooting from Fallen. Like, again, just all the headshots coming his way. And even on low HP, somehow managing to do all that damage. 6 HP to close out the round. Like, that's insane. Like, no sane T-side player would even think, hey, I'm going to take a face after you lose that much health. You know? It would just be like, okay, I'll hang back, I'll put some utility, I'll set you guys up for the frags. No. Straight up, peek in, 2 headshots, done. 4-1 for the XCOM AGO side. Next Smash, certainly feeling the shock from that. They had to save their weapons. And yeah, this is going to be another M4 forced by a round. No head Kevlar, a little bit of a lucky utility. Not that much though, most of the players can afford full sets. But that will still be harmful in the long term of the round. XCOM AGO playing out passive, going to bait in the majority of that utility, try to get a feel for exactly what X-Smash are playing with at the moment. Going for that banana control with the Molotovs down. Oscarish taking the forward face.
And so far, it's pretty much just damage done to the T side. Fiku trying to go for a bit of an individual play out through the boiler position, but he's going to wait for a little bit more support to try and back him up. And at least for X-Smash, they've done a really good job of at least trying to contain this map control. Grux, great opening, and well, that's a man advantage they can work with.
Good kill from Shocks, able to respond to Oscarish here on the B site. Entries, 2 players on Banana. MHL with smoke up, going to round that corner with the AK, the M4 Shocks back behind the main pillar in towards Dark as well. Smoke up to the cross. The flashbang out from Fates, the M4 incendiary down past the new box area. M4 crossfire, blind spray, does do some damage. Fiku does drop, that's the bomb as well. MHL's hit seen, but does not finish off the job for Shock. So 3-on-2 situation is still possible for XCOM AGO to get a bomb plant out of this. The retake is where things are going to get difficult.
And they need to get that bomb plant. That's a really important thing. Already the flank coming out from Banana is incredibly quick from the CT side. And it's going to be Furlan with the AWP, who picked it up a little bit earlier on, considering the low HP, but MHL with the AK to try and line them up, and it was almost a great opportunity to find the 2 kills out towards Banana, but another retake coming out from X-Smash. And it seems like, Jay, once they're in the retake scenario, they look very good. It's just a lot of the time they're getting shut down before they can even allow a retake to come out.
And talking about the mid-round issues from XCOM AGO, and their solution to that is, all right, let's just win the round early. Yeah. So, you know, I mean, it's working so far, but as you say, you know, as soon as they have to slow down for a little bit, X-Smash can come into their own. So, that seems like a case of, like, just keep playing fast and loose from the AGO camp. 4-2 is very early doors. Again, the AK's out for 2 of the CT players, try to do the damage with Fates and Disco dominant. Shocked with the MP5, instead going to get aggressive out here. Running straight for the Molotov, solo HP. Bonus has no idea, but he still deals with the kill. 16 HP though. X-Smash have done their damage with just an SMG.
And now AGO, they can slow it right down. They've got that opening man advantage. They know that considering there was only 2 players surviving in that last round, economy can't be great. So utility has to be low. And, well, that's exactly what the case is. And taking brackets with, well, no response out from the CT side. So straight away that tells them, okay, they're playing deep into the sights on A.
We've got a minute to the clock here, and the CTs have presence out here towards Cubby and the long archway position. Rux and Fates in particular. And their eyes on mid-control. AK going to give the M4 a chance to press. Scrooby gets taken out for with the AWP. Will keep his eyes on. MHL will get that trade back to a 4 versus 3. Disco Doppler going to have to round his corner. Potentially gets with the bomb partner. Takes out the backline player looking for his 3K. Couldn't quite make it happen. Fate's going to turn the man advantage to the favor of the CT side though. And Oscarich here on site. Spray awkward. Gets that frag on for his 3rd against Bubble here. And the plant out to the central boxes and gets back behind the pillar as well. Reload. Bubble's going to hear him on site. Smoke going to start to dissipate here. When will Bubble be seen? Oscarich going to get behind hard cover. Here's him firing away, so it will be out in the short position. Oh, what a transfer! And a headshot coming out from the man of the T-side forces. 5-2 now for XCOM AGO.
Oh, in-game leader versus in-game leader. Bubble, it seemed like he'd read that so well. He knew the position of where Oscarich was and towards the side. Disco Doppler does such a great job. But in the end, Oscarich, that is a huge 1 versus 2 to come out. And, well, if you do want to get involved with our fantastic partner of Hellcase, we've got a couple of codes for you to use. Malta V15 for a 15% refill bonus. And, well, for AGO, this should be a bit of a bonus round for them. Not much of an upgrade to come through for the CT side.
Yeah, they have really been forced down on the economy basis here. The Eagles back. Not a lot of utility. Well, actually, no utility. Not a lot of Kevlar. AK peeking in towards that second mid, looking out of the apartment entrance. We see 1 player burst through, doing damage. Oof, Deagle of Grux gets Fiku for a dome to the dome. 5-on-4 situation. He smokes down towards the coffins and cross positions. The USP of Shock going to be the backhand player here, and the back line's taken out by Furlan. PG for the face this tap with 1 frag and a 2nd kill, so that's damage done. AK picked up by Grux as well with 3 versus 2. And RX Smash going to go for this retake. They're setting up a position, so it looks like they might just go ahead and justify it.
They might as well, right? I mean, they're going to get a buy into the next round, so just see if you can find anything. Bubble, unfortunately, all of his teammates going down, so he's going to be the last one left. 1 versus 2, out with the Deagle, and, well, he doesn't have a kit, so he needs to get a little bit of a move on here to see if he can take these people down on the T side. And I tell you what, that's one hell of an expensive round. The 3 players go down. And you've got to think for XCOM AGO, they can be happy they're getting off to a great momentum, they're getting a good lead, but they don't want to be losing too many players to a round like that again.
And I mean, Deagles are Deagles, but there was also a very low investment from the X-Smash side, so AGO need better control over these rounds. AWP's in with the standard rifles surrounding them. Run boost from Fates is AWP. They actually back off at the last second. That allows the utility flash to come in and try and force them away. You still with Fates is in, and that's an awkward flick if I ever saw one. Grox is there to support it. Does take out Fiku as the forward player. Swing back in on Groovy towards bedroom, but the AK will get the frag back. Bubble will try and return on with Oscarich. Gets that first kill spray from Furlan, gets the headshot as well. So the CT's able to hold their control despite the early mistakes. A 4 versus 2 situation. And the aggression from Groovy is going to be completely siphoned off from MHL here as they work in on their lone swims. They're probably going to get picked apart here by crossfires. And yeah, the gun scene as Disco takes out the penultimate player, the last player left for MHL. A 1 versus 4 for the AWP.
And unfortunately there, they actually don't get the run boost that works out in the beginning of the round, but the trades come out so quickly. We see Grux going 1 for 1 after getting traded out in the apartments, and then Bubble, great hold towards top of Banana, just continues the spam and continues the spray that finally collects onto Furlan. And MHL probably just considering the save at this point. You know, the money line's not great for the T side. He really can't do anything in a 1 versus 4, so trying to hold on to this AWP is certainly his best bet.
Yeah, there's no sense in throwing the big green gun away. So just save it here towards the T-side apartments in the kitchen. And there you go, a third on the board for X Smash with particular confidence as well. Again, the early mistakes from Fate's not going to go punished by AGO. In fact, as they tried to swing in, his backup there was able to do the majority of the work for him. Tactical timeout coming in from XCOM AGO, because I think they realized that that was a little bit of an unacceptable sort of round right there. Rush straight in, no information being gained up here now. X Smash in particular have gained a way to respond to the fast kind of rounds coming out from the T side.
And this is the first time that X Smash have been able to convert a round, Jay, that hasn't been a retake. You know, we spoke about a lot of the time XCOM AGO try and win it out in the mid round. Don't let them retake in the post plant. And well, X Smash, they're able to find their first where they just annihilate everyone. No bomb plant goes down. It's 6-3. Still a bit of a strong lead to come out for the Polish side. And they're going to be force buying around this AWP. Only one AK up for the CT side, up for Disco Doppler. And you got to think for XCOM AGO, these pistols have got to work around the AWP. They've got to be able to try and support MHL to be able to find the picks, because honestly, he's the player that they're looking to find picks in this round.
A force buy. AWP and the Deagles coming in, of course, for the T-side camp. A force buy, of course, going to leave a major advantage for X Smash at this moment. The AWP and the M4s and the AK up against the Deagles and such. T-side making their way out towards the banana control. Shocks have to back off here with his flashbang. Probably going to set bubble up for a quick peek in. AJ being very careful about how they approach this round. 2 rifles could be the end of them. I mean, it was in that last round, so... Times are ticking, nades up, forcing the CTs to go passive and now set the execution.
And they're actually going to rotate what looks to be a 4th player over the A bomb site. Unfortunately, for XCOM AGO, they're going to try and execute out through B. They're actually going to swap the players around. That puts Fates with the AWP over towards this B bomb site.
Time is low, 30 seconds. It's going to look around with the AWP on towards bomb site, out towards the main entrance. Smokes down, Molotov's out. Oh, shot does not connect. The flashbang forcing him out. He still refaces, gets MHL. Groovy will be able to isolate that pick back, but Shox responds with 1. Fiku and Furlan also get their kills. And now the quick plays from XCOM AGO will just be able to secure a bomb plant. With that bomb being dropped, however, it was probably a moment away from potentially being too late. Now X Smash, Grux and Disco on a mission. Again, 3-on-2 for the retake here.
And, well, they've got a fair bit of utility, but both players are coming in from the same angle. They need to get an incendiary up towards that new box position to try and siphon Fiku out into the open. X Smash in the man disadvantage, and you have to think they're all going to play on each other's contacts. And, well, Disco Doppler, last one left, trying to tap away, but he can't find it. And XCOM AGO get very, very nice entries out into that B bomb site. And for X Smash, again, you can't be losing to rounds like that. There was only that AWP and just some simple upgrades of Deagles. Wow. The force buy works out.
Indeed it does. Big round for AGO to find once again here. The T side have done their best to hold on to control. Ups the AKs out, the M4 saved from Groovy, so a little bit of a lead investment, of course, for AG up against the Eco coming in from Smash. Deagles out to do some damage, and they are going to be successful with that damage as well. Groovy, again, tagged up very early on, so X Smash is showing AGO that they're not going to let them get away with easy rounds and easy picks. Leaning in towards that banana control, that force has been uncontested so far for AGO.
Pretty passive on the T side. A bit of information coming up for the T's of exactly where the boost is out through CT on the B side. And they can just slow it right down, honestly. They don't need to get too overzealous here. Don't want to give up too many fights to the Deagles. And Jay, I don't want to say it's going to happen again, but this is at least a good start to come out for the CTs.
Deagle up. Molotov's in, 2 players on the crossfire. Damage has been done to MHL and Groovy. This Deagle could do so much for Shox. He drops the first, can't get the second. The USP of Fate's moving in, and again, he's got such a low HP player to deal with, but he just can't deal the damage out. So 3 on 2. Again, similar retake, but this time with a much more HP basis. The Deagle will respond to 2. The plant will be secured by Groovy from an expensive round coming through, and he faces on just 13 HP. Why? Just why?
Well, the thing is, he kind of has to fight, because if he just plays in the corner with 14 HP, he's just going to get a wide swung from the CT. So in that position, he kind of has to fight. Turn it into the 1 versus 1, play the mind games. But just unfortunate, really unfortunate. You got to think, it's not even just XCOM AGO, it's not even just XSmash. Both of these sides have had struggles against some of these half buys of the upgraded pistols. And just when you thought XCOM AGO could have really stretched their T-side lead, they're back to square one again.
Big showing from the Deagles in this round. Again, those picks on the B side that do the damage, and again against those kills, and also the 2 Deagles swinging in on the retake. Like, man, AGO just can't seem to catch a break. Like, yes, they're able to force the issue in several cases, but now back to an eco to get another rifle round out. This is going to leave XSmash within 2 of their 7. And Fates here towards that mid control. The smokes go down into the brackets area. Are going to keep themselves suppressed. Waiting for the opportunities to present themselves. The flashbanging from Oscar should allow the quick T play into the A-bomb site. 4 players set for the crossfire, and Fates is not missing despite a flashbang round the corner to Cubby. 1 AK does get traded back, says something there, but the M4 in from Grux, dropping himself 2 more picks. Should go ahead and grab that AK-47 if he can even get there in time. No, he can't. So they get that much out, at least for AGO, but again, 4 players alive. Going into round 13, they have a bye, and this could end up changing the tide of the whole half.
And honestly, I would certainly say that XSmash have really struggled to even find these 5 rounds. They've not found an easy task at all on the CT side, but the economy, it's certainly in their favor at the moment. They can win out this round, reset XCOM AGO once again. And sometimes, Jay, it's honestly the economy game which wins out more rounds than the team that's playing better. Very fast pressure up towards the top banana face again. At least Fates, I would say, on this map is finding more success than what he did on Mirage. Flashed off the angle. Ostrich finds the first. Can he follow up? He can't.
Not far and close with the AK-47 though. Flashbangs coming from his teammates. The incendiary this time should force him back. It lands close enough to the broken wall. Smokes come out. Grux can't control his spray against Groovy. This is not the response. Take that bomb plant and the second kill. Not quite the third against MHL, who swings out, grabs that bomb. Now looks for the plant. Smoke out towards the cross of Long. The AWP will blind fire its way through. And Furlan falling back towards Pit to try and more hard cover from a passive position on the site defensive. So retake up for XSmash. They have a kit on Shox. Bubble's got to play supportive anchor. And the M4 doesn't see where Furlan is. Can't catch vision onto this lonely T-side player. The other man on site, the Molotov, will finally force Furlan into an awkward position. Now MHL still sitting on the bomb though, hearing those footsteps spray through as the NWP takes him down. Furlan gets a trade to 1 versus 1. Bubble predicts his position. He's got a kit. Has he got time for this? Bubble. Oh! What would have otherwise been a fantastic way to retake for the AWP. A 3K for the Bulgarian. But it is 8 rounds for XCOM AGO.
Oh my goodness. If he had a kit, if he didn't have to pick up that kit, he would have had it. That shot was unreal. The wall bang into the pit position. Oh man. That could have been insane. That could have been such a big round. But XCOM AGO, they hold off the retake. They hold off that 2-on-2. Oh, the MAC-10s. There's so many of them.
Straight up aggression into Banana. Flashbang's going to try to keep him at bay, but they're going to round this corner. Shot's going to blind spray against him, do so much damage. Eventually catch one, could kill MHL with his AK, and Bubble, he's getting in the way of one of the T-side forces. He's playing carefully. Look at all the T-side presence surrounding him. They do isolate that frag. Disco coming in from the backlines though. Not for a backstab here against Furlan. MAC-10 catches him, but he gets the kill. So 3 versus 3 for the bomb plant and the retake coming in for XSmash.
And we've seen the retake potential coming out for the X-Smash side for most of this first half. At least this time around, they've got the weaponry advantage and trying to force the T's out of position to catch them off repositioning. Disco Doppelin turns it into a man advantage and noses a player towards the dark position. But into the 2 versus 2, Grux gets taken down, and it's all down to Fates with this AWP. And, well, he can't get it going. Oh, man, that was so chaotic towards top of Banana. There were so many duels going on.
AJ not wanting to let that round go too far away. With the MAC-10 rush straight up, basically. Gonna win themselves a round here against the X-Smash side. A very weird sort of investment as well, because that could have very easily shut them down for this final round. But here we are, it's going to be the force back from X-Smash. The AWP, the AKs, the MAC-10 for Furlan will be the weaker point, but it's certainly much better than what the CTs are throwing up, and Furlan even gets a kill for his trouble. 5 HP, finding the frag, now leaving up to the rest of his teammates to do the damage.
Fates, oh, nice shot coming out from the scout, but it is still the man advantage coming out for the T side. So much damage being found onto both Furlan and Fates. And you'd have to think for XCOM AGO, all it really comes down to is regrouping together and take the side as a unit.
So they will here, Fiku. And catch Fates instead, so unfortunately Shox and Disco very separated positions on the map. One of them's got to go down. Not going to see if they can stack up a bomb side at this stage. Even if they did, someone's going to get caught off guard by the T-side forces, whether that be Shox should rotate out to the A bomb site, or Disco trying to make his way into the B defensive. Big old T-side force getting in their way. Good headshot for one, gets the second, not quite the third. But at the very least, he's bought a chance, a slim chance for Disco Doppelin to get this retake together, but a chance nonetheless. Fiku has found himself 3 picks in this one. Scout out as the smoke comes in from the T side. This lone player has got too much to do here.
Disco. Unfortunately, all of his teammates going down, 1 versus 2, and well, as soon as he throws that HE, that gives away his position. Trying to see what he can find with this scout, and unfortunately does not check the position to his left over to Coffins. A 10-5 half coming out from XCOM AGO, and it was a brawl. It really was a brawl in this first half, but they get a very good lead on their own map pick.
There you go. Once again, a very good T-side coming out from the AGO squad. The question is, will it continue into their CT half? Things can get a little bit interesting and weird as we first seen from that first map. So let's see whether that will continue. But a much better half again by comparison. 10-5 for the T-side compared to 9-6 is where they were at the end of their T-side half. Next Smash, a bit of catching up to do as we go to their offensive side. And again, I feel like X-Smash could work well with their offensive pacing. But let's see how far they can really go with it here.
It really comes down to they've got to get momentum. They've got to get off to a start. Now, at least so far, they went 2 for 2 for pistols on the first map. Did lose the pistol going into Inferno. So getting off to a good start on the back of the pistol round victory could certainly be what they need, Jay. And, I mean, the kill distribution, to say the least, coming out from X-Smash is very close between one another, which is always good to see. But, honestly, it just came down to XCOM AGO finding just too many advantages early in the round. That's honestly how they were able to win out so many rounds. I mean, you look at the rounds that they won out of the 5, a lot of the time it was success on the retake, but it was really XCOM AGO getting those opening man advantages pretty much every round. And they need to maintain that they find that the same going into the CT side. MHL certainly firing up once again. Fiku, not so much, Jay.
Yeah, a little bit quiet in this map up, which is concerning given what we've seen. Again, compared to that first map where Fiku was on fire, now he's a little bit more on ice, but even so, despite those, XCOM AGO have a lead and a major odds advantage as well. X-Smash, they were able to bring it back at the end of the first map, so you never know, they could do the same thing here if you believe that could be the case. And again, you can go over the loot bet where you can get 100 euros on a bonus of the deposit, so click that banner under the Twitch channel to get your chance to put some sick bets on a Malta Vibes. Pistol coming out, utility for Disco Doplin, basics across the rest of the board. I believe a P250 was dropped somewhere along the lines. And the early damage against MHL was part of the CT forces of Diffuse and Smoke for Furlan. That's 4-man stack here towards B site.
Now, this is a very heavy stack coming out towards this B bomb site for XCOM AGO, so it will be a retake setup if the T's end up going to A, but I'm not sure if they've just got a good read on the situation or kind of know how X-Smash play on the T side, but this is a very heavy gamble.
That smoke out might buy a chance to rotate back. He's going to use it here towards the B bomb site. That banana face instantly thrown down here, try and stall for time, but the T's have seen him. The defuse kit needs to get out of dodge. If Furlan goes forward, they're going to lose a major time sink. He gets tagged to 24, fades his first casualty. P2K here past the second box, gets 1 and 2, dropping that bomb with backup as well of Fiku, leaving it all to Shocks now. Back over on the A bomb site lurking, it looks like AGO are going to clean up a pistol.
And, well, that's really nice coming out there from the XCOM AGO side, turning it all down to Shocks to see if he can clutch it out. And 1 versus 3, the bomb dropped into the middle of the site. It's going to be a very, very difficult time indeed. He has at least got MHL down quite low, but what I love in that pistol round is Furlan's playing a setup like their gamble stack in the A bomb site. He's jiggle peeking towards the top of Banana, so as soon as he throws that smoke down, he's spamming through. No one else at B makes contact. Everyone is hidden. So X-Smash, once they see how Furlan's playing, they say it has to be a gamble stack at A. He must be alone at B. And those are just some little minuscule things that you can start to see from the XCOM AGO side, which I love. An absolutely fantastic pistol round coming through. X-Smash, they don't know what hit them.
And that T side. Got the Julies here for Grox. Find something in the early part of this round, but nothing is going to be seen. Fiku holds back here on the short position. It's just the apartments control coming in from X-Smash. Eco round for all intents and purposes. Not really much that they can do at this moment here against the rifles. Might be looking towards their rifle round in the next round, but there's control out, plays in, Fate spotted out by Fiku. Damage done, no kills going the way of either side just yet.
And they got a bit of a deep banana stance coming out from Furlan. This MP9 gonna find 3 kills. Oscar chiming into the action, and well, that is $3,000 being, well, I suppose, put up to them in terms of the kill bonus. $600 a piece for that MP9s. Great stuff for the economy.
Indeed it is. $3,000 roughly of kill bonus. Keep those weapons in as value weapons as well against the rifles coming in. Probably is going to end up looking like a probably potentially a 6th round here for X-Smash.
Look at the nades
coming in towards.
Well, that's the thing, right, Jay? Like, the nades already. We haven't even been, what, 20 seconds into the round, and, well, even more damage with nades.
Yeah, Shocks to 6 HP, Grux to 43. Bubble is already dead. Get the M4 of MHL so close against Fate. Shocks is also right behind him. If he timed that awkward, there could have been a lined up secondary frag, but as it stands, Groovy getting Grux next up. 2 players left standing for the T's, and X-Smash have been thrown up against the brick wall here of XCOM AGO. Bomb finally dropped, Disco taking damage. And a 1-on-5, this should be the end of the T side here in round 18. 13th to the board of XCOM AGO. Disco Doplin will try to fight his way out the corner, but it's just probably not going to happen from here. It's got 13 HP.
Yeah, he really can't do too much, I would say. Maybe see if he can take a couple of players down, but at 13 HP, you can't expect he'll be able to do much. And AGO, they're not really hunting at this point. I mean, Furlan's gone quite aggressively at the moment, but all in all, they're all still playing pretty passive around this bomb. He's going to try and save onto the AK. I'm not sure if he'll be able to do so. Even just crossing over that bridge position is going to be instant death, you would expect. Ooh, might get a little bit lucky there.
15 seconds is best bet to save, though. He won't be able to do much outside of just keeping this weapon in check. So XCOM a confident 13th, again, to keep their weapons in play. They can probably recover those AKs if they push out aggressive, so that way the SMGs can get upgraded. The M4s can also have some extra firepower behind them. The FAMASA and Fiku is not staying in play, and that's fine. 3 AK-47s, XCOM doing a fantastic job here on CT side.
Well, so much for the 6th round for X-Smash. I mean, even money-wise, they're in a really bad position. Disco Doppler, yes, he's been able to hold on to an AK, but in the following round, he's going to be on a Galil or a Deagle buy, while the rest of them are going to be able to get rifles across the board. And you've got to think, map number 1, how close that was between the two sides. This is not the case on map 2.
Orb shot. And start things off at MHL will already connect the damage on Bubbles, so I mean already this round has started to fall to pieces here for the X-Smash side. The Molotovs out, the CTs continuing to push forward. Fiku in particular, that mid position hoping for a frag, hoping to find another good kill, but mid control passiveness. Smokes and Molotovs will keep them at bay. Tap up from the AK, will get pushed back by the damage done by the pistols, but yeah, this is going to be a 14th for XCOM as the kills are slow to come through, but they should be able to be landed eventually.
And X-Smash, I mean, at least they recover that AK off the back of Disco Doppler. But what can they really find with it? We've seen, at least in the past, they've been very successful with a lot of these deals. It comes down to whether they can win out this round, and we're already a couple of players going down. Fiku tries to tap away, the Bubble's going to be able to trade, and we do find at least a couple of kills. So it is trying to take it pretty expensively for the Polish side, but Shox, if he can get a bomb plant, that could be big.
We get a third kill, I should say, alongside that, then that would be even bigger. Whilst your own economy wreck theirs. So the money line's not fantastic for XCOM AGO. Especially you can get MHL with the AWPs, the most susceptible trade. Berlin being heard, flashes coming in, facing around the corner, but exposing himself to that long position. So MHL can close out with a pistol. 2K to his name. And there it is, a 14th to the board of XCOM AGO. Now X-Smash need to get this next buy in. They need to get the rifles out. They need to push the round on the board, most importantly, because they're starting to run out of rounds.
Yeah, they certainly are. Really not a great showing coming out from X-Smash in this second map of Inferno. XCOM AGO, yeah, look, we saw a couple of rounds here and there going the way of the X-Smash side, but you know, if you take the whole first half and even the second half into account, they've been in control for most of it. 2 more rounds is all we need to go to that third map of train, and look at the aggression coming down from mid. The confidence from Furlan to go for this play. They don't find the opening kill. It does get traded, and it's a good start from X-Smash, but I like the intent from the City side.
Oskrish and MHL. The last 3 players, I should say, left for XCOM AGO. Swinging from that mid position, Oskrish is ready to face. He's ready to find some sort of frag. The M4 of Groovy. AWP of MHL swings in, no flash to support it, and that is just going to be decimation across the map there for X-Smash. Talked about getting a good round on the board, and I have to say that is certainly a good round, but I'm not sure if they just sort of gave up at the end of that round or when they were at the man disadvantage.
Yeah, look, it sort of seems that it was a very aggressive stance coming out from the CG side. They wanted to try and see if they can aggress through second mid, but yeah, you're right. As soon as they lost those opening advantages, it was almost like they were just feeding kills through. So at least it's a dominant round coming out from X-Smash, but we certainly need to see a lot more from them if they want any chance of allowing this comeback to come through. And well, this time again, it's the aggression out towards Banana rather than from second mid. Oh.
Damage done early on again, but no kills. AJ would have loved to get that first pick on MHL if he was able to find it out that would mid position, but no. Brooks backed up towards second. He smoked down here on the brackets area. Shox with the bomb start moving up. Disco Doppler will try and take face downstairs as well. Flashes in, MHL just firing. Nade potentially could go on. Doesn't actually quite land where he wanted to, but if Eagle's going to start taking an aggressive face, did they hear him? I don't think they did. They're going to continue to aggress here towards long. One player in cubby corner. Fiku does get face. Shox challenging with the bomb on his back. That could be dangerous for the T-side round. As the AWP faces up. Going to try to play distraction with a swinging from the M4 phone. Could be on to do so much. Flash into player spotted. Potentially could connect so many frags, but only gets one. Trey's coming to 3 versus 3 now for Xsmash.
And they still don't know about the player onto the side of Ostrich. He really needs to come up big, but that's a huge duel coming out from Disco Doppelin. And you've got to think, well, what can MHL really do? They even opt to go for the save. They might go for it, Jay. Considering the fact their economy line's not great, they've got a massive lead advantage, and yep, they're opting to go for the save.
Yeah, out of dodge. And Xsmash bringing in the comeback now. This is the start of a fun time for this T-side. Can they bring it back all the way to end it in 2 maps and in regulation? I mean, it's possible. Seen it done before. I just don't count it as particularly likely at this stage. Have a look. 7, of course, will go on the way of the T-side board. Of course, the investment there from Joe will leave them with not much to work with, so these rifles will at least have a little extra something. But we're looking mostly at an eco round for the CT side.
And you'd have to think that, really, to allow a comeback to come through, especially against a team like XCOM who have shown so far that what they're able to do on this map, that it's going to be a very unlikely tale. And Groovy and MHL, those are the 2 players that you got to think, right, they saved rifles in the last round. They can still find impact. And for Xsmash, they need to be looking, getting some opening kills, getting that opening advantage. And Bubble, oh, that could have been the chance to take the AWP out straight away.
Nades on will do some damage to return, though. I mean, all in all, it is a HP advantage for the CT cam. We see what they've been able to do with these early utility starts. That mid-position 2 CTs will go get ready to the face. The smoke's up and Bubble will lose Fiku. Crew B will drop all the same. MHL will be able to respond back on Disco Doppelin. So a 4 versus 3. And the AWP, the only rifle left in play for the CT camp. They're just going to have to get out of dodge. MHL has got to save it in the B1 site. Be a plant and an 8th secured for Xsmash, as you probably would expect here. If they had kept those 2 rifles in, then they could re-up the economy. But yeah, for AJO, they've sort of got a rest on the lost bonus they're going to get in the next round. Of course, the AWP does open up a couple more options. But even so, will be an 8th, the T-side board.
And 3 rounds in a row now going the way of the Xsmash side. They could be, potentially, the 2nd international team to make it to the grand final. Nordavin made it a little bit earlier today. And XCOM AGO, they get 1 kill off the back of a round where they only had a saved-in AWP and M4. They do lose the M4 onto Groovy, so there's at least something that gets taken away from them. And you've got to think for Xsmash, they have to look at this at a round-by-round basis. They can't be thinking, right, we need 8 for OT. Look at what you can do in round 23, and then look at what you can do in the next round. That's the way it's got to be done mentally. And the buy, it is strong from XCOM AGO. This could be the one that completely resets Xsmash mentally.
A fast play out from Ostrich again. Tries to get that all-important 15th. Nades up against Fate, so the damage AWP pick comes in from MHL. Shox first to fall. CT's looking for another frag. If they can find it, then suddenly they're on to winning this round. Spike extension. There it is from Fiku, not quite getting the double against Grux. So 1 trade found. He can't swing on towards short and get a second. Teams made their way up towards Banana. Disco Doppler in particular with the AK around that broken wall. Seeing Groovy taking out his rifle. The wrong timing for this CT. So once again, X-Smash going to get gifted an opportunity. And there's one player here to defend B side. Furlan's not going to get back up here in time. He is all alone to hold off against the T side. And yes, he could do some serious damage from second, but they should be able to realize where he is. Orb scope in, takes him down. And the B site is under X-Smash control.
Oh, well, forget the opening man advantage for XCOM AGO. It all just comes down to Disco Doppler, and the fact that he's able to split the CTs. They were just so out of position. They were just in the wrong position at the wrong time. We saw Groovy with his knife out swapping over. And well, Disco Doppler, he turns into a 3-on-3, and as soon as they get that pick and they hear Furlan going back, they go, right, there can only be one more player on the B bomb site. So they've got all the info that they were playing two players quite aggressively. So they just go straight in. Fates has such a great AWP shot, holding that secondary Orange's angle. And, well, I tell you what, they are slowly bringing this back, Jay.
Slowly but surely, but they are bringing it back. A tactical pause from XCOM AGO to figure this out, potentially break the momentum of X-Smash, because right now it is a full-blown momentum swing to their favor, and it is still going their way. The money line has bolstered, so they should be on a good buy against XCOM AGO when they come to lose that all-important 15th. The 5 to the deficit here. Smash are so close to equalizing against this AGO camp. Going a million miles against them. And the AWPs, the AKs, the M4 should also get brought down by the CT side. A CZ for Groovy. Actually, maybe FQ and Furlan might also be on half-buy status. They haven't brought in the utility, so maybe this might just be pistols around the 2 save rifles. Yeah, MHL straight out. You're going to look for that first pick regardless of their weaknesses. And yeah, it is. Just 2 CZs and a Deagle. And first pick going the way of Disco Doppler. They just try to support here towards the boiler control, but the CTs are falling the hell out of the apartments.
Well, they're just stacking the A bomb site at this point. So for Bubble, as soon as he just wide swings out from, or dual peeks from the top of Banana, he'll get all the information that the B bomb site's completely clear. At the moment, they do have quite a heavy stack out towards Bracket, so the information has not been seen quite yet, but they are rotating that bomb over to B to back up Bubble. And this is another great read coming out from X-Smash. I tell you what, Bubble, these last few rounds, has had some phenomenal calls. He's been reading the game incredibly well. And for a gut feeling at this B bomb site is going to be an easy 10th round.
Smoke set to cross. Stop anyone from XCOM AGO from aggressing and finding their way back to the B bomb site. Don't even know if they want to bother for the retake here or just save their weapons and the Kevlar that they bought in those 2 players. Again, all about options for the actual buy up here versus stealing some frags away, which at this point with the economy being where it is basically meaningless to XCOM AGO. And yeah, they realize this too. No player to rotate. They will leave one over at Speedway. That's the AWP. But MHL ready to look for some exit frags, but exits is the best they'll get out of here. This will be 10 on the board for X-Smash. Let the countdown begin. 4 rounds to go till we get to evens.
MHL, at least trying to make it expensive. But the thing is, for X-Smash, their economy is so strong at the moment that it's going to take a hell of a lot for XCOM AGO to try and limit the T side. He's finding a couple more picks here. They really want to try and take this AWP out. Disco Doppler onto Groovy, and MHL just going to try and save onto this AWP in the side. Good damage being found for the rest of the late kills in the round. MHL actually finding 3, so all in all, not bad. But it is double digits, Jay. It is a 10th. And this is now 5 rounds in a row from X-Smash. You've got to think this is where the veteran players come into their own. They can put the pressure on the back of XCOM AGO. They're already a map down in the semi-final. You've got to think the pressure's building.
And when the money line's still not recovering with the constant rounds that they're losing against the X-Smash camp. Riot, they get in the standard rifles coming in, and they just can't seem to find those opening kills. Bubble will be traded back at least by Oscarish, so the bit of CT aggression towards Banana works out to their favor and gains a HP advantage above Shocks as well. AK Shox spray through, doing damage to Groovy, but can't get the frag. So finally, XCOM AGO with a confident man advantage now as the T-side players rotate into the mid position. Banana fully controlled by MHL. Smoke down. Awkward smoke, but I think it may have actually landed a bit better overall. Either way, the Molotovs will try force the T-side away so they don't take too much damage. A minute to go, M4 in. Disco turning the wrong way, but does get the frag in the end. So now they can swing in, converging against MHL, isolate this player, and take him down to the B-bomb site here. The CT's on rotate, though. Their backs are turned to this mid control. They better hear these footsteps. Fate and Shox swing in or pick on one. M4's still there. Fate's will fall. Disco Doppelin will fall. Shox has the bomb, and he knows where MHL is. He'll push towards A.
And he can get his bomb plant wherever he likes on the site. He can reposition to anywhere he likes. And Shox is going to plant to the default position of 1 versus 1 up against MHL, and he's dropped the AWP. He's picked up the AK. This could be big. Very, very big. The newest member for this X-Smash side, Shox, to try and win out a massive clutch to keep X-Smash's streak alive. And he's just playing time. He's hearing the footsteps. He knows exactly where MHL is towards that graveyard position in the mini pit. Shox, does he get the angle? Does he get the angle? MHL swinging out, and it's another round for X-Smash. They're keeping the dream alive.
What a play, an awkward spray. But it works great for the T side. 11-2 their board, and AGO just can't get to map point. X-Smash are bringing it back. Continuing to push on and on. Going to recover another 16-14 result. And what a result it would be for this team if AGO can see back to them. The AK is coming in, the AWP for Fates. Of course, out for Oskrish and MHL, the double orb setup. XCOM AGO are pulling out all the stops at this stage. The Deagles in for the half fight. At least they get that kill for the opening start. Grux is going to get caught off guard, spammed through the walls, 43 HP. So again, another man advantage gained by XCOM AGO.
And this is a half fight with double orbs. Look at the damage they've been able to do so far, Jay. They re-smoke up towards top of Banana, but the T's, they're not slowing down anytime soon. Oskrish, a great kill onto Shox, and they've got a 5-on-3 advantage. This could be the round that they get to 15. Fates. Oh, what a shot! Oh,
and he gets the second kill on the site. Bubble waiting here towards tree, and again, X-Smash, when you think they're down, they make sure they're not out, and they sneak their way in. Fiku, 2-player scene! Is that going to be the end of the round? Yes, it will! Groovy, last man standing in a 1-on-3, 2 HP. He has got to run. He's got to save. As X-Smash again losing the early round, but they just swing right back and whack XCOM AGO in the face.
I'll tell you what, Fates, he has certainly had a bit of a quiet series, but these last few rounds, he is hitting nut shots, man. X-Smash, the streak continues. 7 rounds in a row. And XCOM AGO, oh my goodness. Where do they go from here? Yes, it's only a half buy, but they had such a big advantage in Bubble. Oh, this is huge. Absolutely massive.
A third, I think, tactical pause for XCOM AGO. They've used a lot of them so far, and I just don't know. Just don't know how you recover this if you are this CT Force. Like, it is going to be tough. It is going to be so tough from here. They're continuing to rebuy. They're going to get more rifles out. There was a half buy round, so there's that, but they need to pull out a similar sort of performance from what they had in round 26. Nades on, flashes over, look at the aggression from Shox and look at the aggression from his opponent. Shox going to turn around against him. There's another CT player so close, falling on 32 points of health. And Shox doing the damage. 6 HP. Oh! There it is from Bubble. Through the smoke, through the wood stack. And Nades, the force damage done. Grot's going to swing in on Fiku, drop him. Next 2 players left alive, neither on the A site. Bomb can push in. And this should be another round for X-Smash, and it just continues This game continues to get worse and worse for the CT forces.
I can't believe what I'm witnessing. This is unbelievable. 14-5 was the lead for XCOM AGO on their own map pick in the semi-final. And X-Smash, man, they are really firing up. And at least in a lot of these rounds recently, we've seen the opening advantages go the way of the Polish side. Not this time around.
In, good shot, good kill, but that's as far as it goes for MHL.
They've got no money.
And we're now within one. We are within one of the lead now, and it's a great thing that you mentioned, a great point. No cash for XCOM AGO. They could force buy it, but that is ill-advised. It's best to maybe buy for Groovy, sure, but everybody else down to pistols and Kevlar, and then look for a 29th round investment from the CT side.
And, well, it's going to be the half buy. Groovy's got a hell of a lot of money, but his teammates didn't. This time around, X-Smash, they're slowing it down. We've seen a lot of quick banana control being able to come out for most of these last few rounds. And surely reading the economy, they realize that they're up against a half buy, and they need to make sure they're not allowing any of these cheeky pistols to find some opening kills. Banana control is being taken by the CT side, the spam coming through. How many kills can they find through smokes?
They're just pre-aim angles, like they're common positions the CTs can find. They just spray against them, manic sprays, random sprays. And they're all advantages for the T-side camp as they take banana control, take a second kill. Bubba's going to swing in against Oskarish next, I feel like. And yeah, there it is. 3 kills, easy peasy. And we're going to be even standing. This was a 14-6, 14-7-ish sort of scoreline.
14-5, Jay.
Wow.
14-5. And now we're tied up. This does not happen. Especially at this kind of level of Counter-Strike. This does not happen. It's not the third map of the series. It's map number 2 in the semi-final, and it's not even X-Smash's map pick.
And 1 kill for Groovy will only do so much. He'll get an AK. There's even going to be an AWP to hunt him down for Fates. Out of dodge, looking the right way. See ya. And see ya to the lead of XCOM AGO. They have been shown the door. Just up to X-Smash to push them out of it. All even standing. This one will be for map point for X-Smash. It will be for match point. And what a comeback from this T side.
This is insane. I've got to be honest, I've not seen a comeback like this in quite some time. It has been a very long time. And for X-Smash, they have got to be absolutely hyped at this point, but they need to make sure, yes, we're doing really well, but we can't give up any rounds. We need to make sure we're continuing this progression. A lot of nades out towards Banana, but it doesn't strike with an opening kill.
Double nades back against Bubble, though, will do the damage. That's a start. That's an opener here for the AGO camp. And Fiku will burst in, try and do the damage to the player outside the boiler. Can't get the kill. Will do his best, but it won't be likely here. A 5-on-4 situation. X-Smash forced to go semi-passively. Disco Doppler into the apartment's face. Will check out the long corridor, check out the boiler room entrance. Rocks trying to push. But a minute to go for the hit here. X-Smash leaning into the bomb site. Shoulder baits not catching off the AWP. Not going to take a shot. Swing in, damage done. But again, no kill.
And this is going to be a fake once again to the A bomb site. There's so many times where they use that utility to take Bracken's control and move over to the B bomb site. It will be 2 defenders here. No AWP at the B bomb site. And Oskarish, if he goes down, Ferland's going to be alone.
Ferland will also push up towards first shot. Going to check the back lines. No one's going to keep their eyes on that first spray. Coming in for 1 good kill. Oskarish chimes in. Grux gets a response, but Oskarish doubles up. Looking with the triple. Grux is left alone. Bomb was dropped out in the open. It will get picked up by the Swede. But still a 1-on-3 for the ace against MHL. First, the AWP going to be ready for the slow face. and will get us to map point at long last for XCOM AGO, but they've let it come back to an overtime potential, and X-Smash, all they have to do is return one good rifle round, and suddenly we're playing on.
One round, that's all they need. One round to take it to OT. And even the buy from XCOM AGO, it's not the best. They've got a FAMAS out for Fiku. Kits across the board, a hell of a lot of utility. X-Smash, can they pull this unbelievable comeback through? MHL very aggressive to fight the opening pick, and he doesn't find it.
Not quite, not this time. Still holds corner control. Bubble gonna burn out towards Banana.
Oh!
Grox, what was that? He tries to get the second kill on Fiku, he does! Groovy will respond with the M4 swinging on the AWP for the T side.
They're rotating off a B. If the T's go now to B bomb site, it's open.
Disco Doppler will fall. That might give him more presence and peace of mind, but Groovy here on site with Oscarish, a crucial defensive to hold. They're both high HP. Bubbles tagged low. Fates is tagged a little bit. The AWP trying to jump around the corner. Flashes in. Bubble into the smoke. Goes down. All left. 2 shocks. He gets himself a frag, but needs to get that bomb down on the site, fending off the 2 M4s. The AK is ready for Fallen. He's not ready for the apartments phase. He's going to go back through Apsto. This could be a crucial second kill to round this corner. It all rests on Groovy, and Shocks has got a 2K. Surely not. Up for 3 frags, and Farland pushing in from the short position. Shocks making a lot of noise, not looking right away. Farland right around his corner. Shocks gonna check it. Slow peek. Oh, he gets the shot! Shocks, you absolute madman! And X-Smash take us to overtime here on Inferno.
I can't believe it, Jay. I cannot believe that he's been able to clutch it out. XCOM AGO. They only needed 1 more kill to go to a 3rd map. Oh my. X-Smash have come back from 5 to 14 down to bring us to OT. And you've got a thing for XCOM AGO. They must be demoralized. I can't believe that. What a comeback to come through. Oh my. Shocks, man. The clutch. The read. That's insane.
I can't believe that. Brux and Shocks, massive round from them there. And they're taking them out on the top of their team scoreboard for good reason. 2 kills to enter, a 1-on-3 for Shoxy. And I am just speechless. I am just speechless to what X-Smash have pulled out of their hat here. Oh man, we're gonna go the distance here, it seems, Dweg. This is gonna be real fun.
And you got to think for AGO, like, how do you come back from this? How do you come back with such a big lead to blow it away, to bring us to OT? MHL, even in the last, I would say 6-7 rounds, he was not hitting those AWP shots that he was towards the first half. It seemed like he was not playing at the same level, even though he's at 28 kills. So, you know, that is fantastic. But it seemed like individually he was not up to scrap. And for X-Smash, I can't believe they've brought this comeback. They've taken the first map of the series, 16-14 on Mirage. We've at least gone 30 rounds so far on Inferno, and we're going to go even further.
Well, not before a small tech issue is resolved with the X-Smash side, so a moment's respite. It's still kind of like, it's still just not settled in how incredible that was. Like, I'm just kind of stunned really that the whole thing has gone well this far for X-Smash. And in overtime, they could still take a 2-0 with how much XCOM AGO have choked in the second half. X-Smash could be on for a simple 4-0 if they play their cards right, if they can take control, if they can continue to hold control here. So a fantastic opportunity again presenting itself for the X-Smash boys. And again, to 2-0 XCOM AGO, when they've come so close to winning X-Smash's map pick and now their own map pick here in this series. after they've come so far by comparison to the last series they played against this team, which I'll remind you was 16-7 and 16-6. This could all just crumble to pieces for the Poles, and it just takes a good few rounds to make it happen.
And honestly, Jay, you've got to think that the veteran players have stepped up. Yeah, we've seen the youngsters from X-Smash firing on all cylinders, but the reads from Bubble, the cooling to be able to allow a comeback like that. And honestly, anyone that's just tuned into the stream, or at least in the last 10, 15 minutes, would think this might be the grand final, but it's not, Jay. This is the semi-final.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? The winner of this has got to go on and take on one more challenge. Obviously, Nordavind waiting in the wings in our grand final matchup. And just, mate. 15-15. For X-Smash, at least it will give them a 2-0 with momentum to swing into that matchup with. But for XCOM AGO, they are most certainly on the back foot here, being an overtime on their map pick. Got to go to the third map, I should say, as well, and win it there. Which, yes, it is train, and yes, it could well be done. But just with all this pressure being applied to you, with the knowledge and the morale dampener that will be the fact that you went this close to losing your own map pick. For XCOM AGO, I think the mentality game was weighing against him. But we'll find out whether the actual game will weigh against him here. 15-15. Overtime, 16K and MR3, and the orbs will come out for both sides here. MHL with his, Fates with his, and X-Smash to enter onto the T side for our first OT.
And this is really where they've allowed the comeback to come through. They'll start off on T, and they'd be looking at a 3-0. They'll be looking at not even dropping a single round on this T side. Now, for certainly with MR3 16K, you can often see the double orbs coming out. Furlan's opted against it. And MHL needs to strike, and they line up! What an opening coming out for the Poles!
That is a morale booster and a half for the CT side. But can they keep the trades going? Will X-Smash be able to respond? We've got Furlan here on the back line, here on the new box. Oskarish here at Fountain, spotted, sprayed, taken out. Furlan responds, drops that bomb, leaves it to Bubble and faces the last two players. Nade on toward him, the Molotov will try force him out. Bubble can isolate that pick and get the bomb plant now. 3 versus 2. XCOM AGO have to come in for the retake from the CT spawn. From Banana, Fiku gets Bubble with a flick back all to the orb now. Fates gets 1, 2 players swinging against him. And this will be the start for AGO. Taking the first of the OT, taking the lead from X-Smash.
And all that really comes down to, Jay, is finding those opening picks. MHL lining them up. It's a 3-on-5 disadvantage for X-Smash. Yes, they do a really great job of being able to trade out in a positive manner at that B bomb side, but they just don't have enough players. A great start to OT, a phenomenal start. That's what they need to get a little bit of momentum back, to at least get some confidence. How many more rounds can we see from XCOM AGO on the CT setup? MHL, 30 bomb at the moment.
And appropriately so with that collat. And that round that basically won his team the round. Oh, and the M4 Oskarish will strike first here in the midst of the smoke. XCOM are going to try and build off of their fortunes. 5-on-4 situation, damage done. Furlan tagged to 8 HP. At least they can respond. He's going to go right to the Molotov, and Fates gets credited with the kill. Grux chimes back on Groovy, and now X-Smash here to try and bring this round back to their favor. There's an AK in the apartments backed up by the AWP. It falls out as MHL swings towards mid and gets us to 3-on-3.
Oh, Grux is so low. Fiku, this could be the kill! What is that from Grux? What? He's 12 HP, Jay. How does he find that?
Misposition on the crosshair, I feel like, from his opposition. A 3-on-2 scenario as Grux takes out MHL for another frag. This time they won't even look in the right way. 3 kills on 12 HP, a bomb plant secured. Oskarish has got to save from here. I mean, yes, it is 16K. Yes, you will have a buy in the next round, but what is the sense of throwing away an AK here in this impossible retake?
Actually not a bad option, you know, trying to say if you can hold on to that AK and at least have an upgrade into the following round. But a lot of the time, especially with 16k overtime, you always find the CT side will go for it. Oscar Rich can't find anything. Grux, 4 kills in the round. That was so big for XCOM HO. They were able to get a big opening man advantage. They took 2 players incredibly low on the T side, and somehow Grux, what an insane round, has brought that back. 16-16.
Even Steven. The AWP and the AKs in against the AWP and the M4s, the CTs. Evened out again, despite the fantastic start. Again, X-Match are going to find their rhythm and able to return it back. Nades on, doing early damage towards the top banana area. Disco Doppler aggressing into the apartments where there is more CT aggression coming out. Look at Foden. Look how close he is. FaZe is ready for it though. Orb on takes him down. Second CT spotted. Disco Doppler back turn. Shoulder baits it and spots out one player. Straight through, almost got some damage. Gonna do a little bit more against them, but none of those bullets connect. So 100 HP for everyone on the CT line.
And at least Disco Doppler, he can see if he can bait out one of these CTs in aggressing. He keeps spamming off, and Finker's gonna peek at Disco Doppler. He's been able to give his team a 5-on-3, and XCOM HO have not been able to find any kind of an advantage.
Well, you said he wanted them to peek, and they peeked. He got his wish. He got his team 2 men up. MHL with the AWP towards mid. Seeing the smokes coming out, they spotted him on the way back out. And Grux comes in from the back line, deals with the frag. Shox gets Groovy, and Oscarish left alone once again into 1vx. 17-16. This is going to be X-Smash taking the half.
Oh my, X-Smash. Honestly, like, these guys are just firing up on raw ability alone. They are so sharp at the moment. Even Disco Doppler, he was baiting out through the apartments, trying to get someone to peek. And XCOM HO, Finker goes, right, I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to swing. And it is the round advantage going into the CT side. One more would be at least an insurance policy. One more for X-Smash will at least guarantee second OT.
And 2 rounds for them to win the match outright. Yeah, 2-0 fashion on this series. But XCOM HO, that would just be heartbreaking. Orb in for MHL, gonna cover Furlan as he makes his way into Banana. Molotovs down from both the top mid and top Banana areas. Nades up, utility to respond. Smokes will try blind off MHL, but he takes this AWP straight up to the B bomb site, looking on for the first player out of the gate. That's gonna be a slow peek. That's gonna be an opening kill.
That's what they need, MHL to really start to step up when needed. Actually seeing Grux AWPing over Fates so far in the first round on the T side. Super aggressive. If he finds any more, he could potentially take down Fiku, but it goes the other way. The CTs, they're not finding anything.
2 players going to rotate to gamble stack the A site. They think that the T's are on it, and they may be right to assume this. I don't know how much Furlan heard, but they're going to push in. Bubble and Disco Doppler, they're not out of this round just yet. If they see a full stack coming in around this corner, and I think they are, this could still be possible. The crossfire is there. Fiku has no idea. Groovy can trade it back. Disco Doppler on site, drops Oscridge. Got one more player around this corner, but the AWP does not need a scope to take his man down. XCOM HO to even standing, 17 all. And now this next round will be for the match points.
Now, you've got to think, when X-Smash was on that City side in the first half, Jay, the only real success they found was retaking the bomb sites, and now they're going for the double AWP presence. We did not see this come out at all from XCOM HO in OT. Shocks on one AWP, Fates on another. They're looking for opening picks, and they need it.
Molotovs in, scopes out, AWP for Shocks, lands perfectly on MHL. Gonna start refacing around this broken wall. Fallen is pushed up to the corner, but nothing will be seen. No second face, no kill against them. The next smash. Control into the short position, no apps control. Play up, spray through, even Fiku gets traded back by Disco Doppler. 4 versus 3 situation. And the T's have got to back off.
And we've seen the AWP actually rotate from Fates over at that A bomb site. So they're splitting the AWPs at the moment, but they're at least holding on to the man advantage. That was the important thing, that when those trades came out from the brackets, that it's a 1-for-1. And for X-Smash, they still have 2 defenders here on the A bomb site, and already brackets control being established, still a fair bit of utility. It really comes down to Fates with this AWP out from long.
Kill back to 2 now. XCOM AGO suppressed towards long. Bomb back at Groovy. Furlan find some sort of way to work in at the CT spawn and rotate back to the B bomb site. Bubble with the M4 looking to face against them. Spots Furlan's gun barrel. That's going to be easy against Groovy. Next up, no, he stays alive. But with 3 more to find, you must imagine that this trade is going to be easy enough for X-Smash. 20 seconds to the clock. He sees the player in the back line on B. That's Shocked with AWP. Nice out. AK's making his way in. Shock's going to hear all these footsteps play away from his opponent. Moves on, jumps in, takes that secondary kill. Okay, 5 HP for Groovy though. Surely this should end up being a trade at some point soon. All they've got to do is blind fire against him. Unless he can isolate Fates, he expects him to be close. Sees him, sprayed through, doing damage. No frag. Digging in against Disco Doppelin somehow. Oh my goodness, not quite. So close, but no cigar this time.
And no one must have called out, because we actually saw that Shox landed a tag kill onto Groovy. He was so low, but they didn't know that for the X-Smash side. They certainly didn't, because that's why we still said saw the AWP out for Fates rather than swapping over to his pistol. But they get their 18th. They at least secure the second OT. Man, oh man. That was big from Groovy. That was so damn close from Groovy.
Every single kill in this round is going to be so important. Every single kill from here on out is going to be so important. The banana control coming in again. The incendiary's down and out. Nade right on. That's going to do quite a fair amount of damage to Fate, but they do spread apart, so it's only Fate that tanks it. Fallen going to burn. 28 HP. Bubble's going to swing in, try to take the player down. The stray bullets don't quite land. So all in all, it's actually XCOM AGO that come out worse for wear in terms of the utility.
Unfortunately for X-Smash, they don't have any more HEs or incendiaries to do any more damage. They do have a hell of a lot of smokes, but they need to play a little bit more defensive now, Jay. They don't have that utility to force the T-side back. They've already taken the banana control. Get that re-smoke down and try and bring a third player over to the B-bomb side.
Work on cross bubble here towards this first box. AK of Shocks checking out. Coffin's position will start facing 50 seconds to the clock. XCOM AGO with this execution have 2 players to find. If they can find them both, they look to stay alive. But with 2 players low, these kills could come in quick, and a high HP player will swing out. Bubble takes that kill, looks for his second, on for a 3K, not quite, but the AK from Shocks in the back line. Deagle on the AWP of Fates will take its face in, do some damage, spray through. MHL captures Shocks off. 3 versus 3 now. Retake in from X-Smash, the plant to the back of the site. How do they make their way up from this one? It looks like Groovy just going to get aggressive through the smoke right here. Grox and Disco, both players for the boost. Groovy could shut them both down. When does he see it? Is it going to be as the smoke clears? Tap up. Groovy's going to get the info. AK going to creep forward. 2 players to find. Gets just 1, but that might be enough to turn the tide to the favor of the T's. As the AWP strikes last, we go to a second OT.
Oh, mate, it keeps going. It keeps going. And for Bubble, he had such a great hold of that B bomb site, but it was not enough. The retake not being successful. And one thing to certainly take into account on that retake, Jay, is they didn't have the incendiaries and they didn't have the HGs to try and force the Ts out of their positions. Oh my. I don't know where this goes from here. It's so back and forth between these 2 sides.
The overtime where business has picked up. And as you mentioned, second OT between these 2 squads. And again, for AGO, this is all about getting us to a 3rd map, right?
Yeah.
There's nothing to do with winning the series outright. That's what X-Smash are here for. Oh, the nades on against them, though. And the utility damage must be so high on the AGO scoreboard.
What?
Sadly, the entry kills, you can't say the same. Bubble taking out Fallen, popping through the smoke. No flash to support him. Thought he'd have the full banana control, but alas, he did not.
And like you said, there's no support, there's no teammate to back him up, no flash, and that's an easy opening kill coming out for the CT side. And that's now going to siphon them off to try and take this bracket's control.
Not to the A bomb site here, the T's leaning in for their execution, a split out from the apartments area. That's Fiku that's going to make his way from that position. The nade on from Oscarish. Oh, he gets shocked, perfectly placed. A trade back from XCOM AJO, now going to force a rotation coming in. The A-bomb side, a four-man stack. Now it's just three. The AWP is still here for Fates. He swings in slowly, gets Groovy out towards short, and taps on towards the mid entrance. Won't see any more T-side players. Fiku, his timing can be more impeccable. He takes the disco dominant, looks towards the bomb site, gets 2 kills. Fates with the AWP back and can't do any more than 1. It's Bubble now here on a retake and a 1-on-2. But it looks like XCOM AGO will be set to take the lead here.
Yeah, it certainly does. Bubble, this is going to be a very difficult retake, and he's only got a smoke to work with. Trying to swing onto the pit player. I think he may have just seen a shoulder, so at least a little bit of information coming through on where one of these players are. But Bubble, he needs to try and isolate the one-on-one Angels, and it's not going to come through. MHL is getting closer and closer to 30 kills for the T side. 19 to 18, they take the lead.
X-Smash this time couldn't quite get it done. The damage sustained there towards the banana peak. The nades up, the kills coming through, and of course the lack of defensive here on the A site. Did a double AWP upgrade coming in from X-Smash though, so they're not going to let themselves make the same mistakes twice. Disco, 9 HP though. Was that a spam through? I believe it might have been. Figu's going to try and take this kill, isolated very easily on just so low. An opening frag found for the T-side camp. Nades up to try to do some damage. The AWP sees him on a very tight angle. Fiku gonna continue to make his way in. Nades on. Grux gets 1 kill. Groovy and Fiku try and back. Bubble can respond, but he's the lone defender of the A site. If this bomb makes its way out now, they've just got to deal with him. The AWP on rotate. Surely couldn't get a retake together, but one pick comes back. 2 versus 2, and the AWP is rotated off the site.
Oh, Shox, he really can't do anything until his teammate backs him up. And well, the information's come through. Shox knows at least it's got to be a B play. He hears that bomb going down into the 2 versus 2. It's another retake attempt coming out from X-Smash.
Looking on, rounding that corner. Seeing utility coming out from Dark. Not much utility left for the T side of this moment, but a flash to allow the entries here from XCOM AGO. A smoke down towards Banana as well could come through. Shot's gonna set this up now. Incendiary coming forward. Here we are. Spray through from Bubble does not do much here. The Molotov are gonna try force them out position. It will be successful. Actually, it misses entirely. They still push back forward behind pillar. Seen, and the 2 kills coming quick. They thought it was clear. It most certainly was not. And 20 to the board of AGO.
Yeah, look, unfortunately, that molly landed on top of like the dark boxes instead of actually back into the dark position, because I was a bit worried about that. I saw that there was an incendiary on the CT side, and for the T side of XCOM AGO, they were both playing in very similar positions, very close to one another. X-Smash, they need at least 1 round. We know they've struggled on the CT side. They've got the double AWPs out. They can't let XCOM AGO go 3-0 up.
Incendiary's up, AWP's peeking in first, Shox looking on to Banana. Very passive for the most part, but MHL swings in, gets that opening kill on Fate. It's Shox trying back on Oscarish to a 4-on-4. At least the AWP at the CT side can respond. And still looking on towards Banana, but nothing else going to be seen here. They back off passive again.
And X-Smash, unfortunately, they're not able to find that opening man advantage. They give up Banana control to the T side. And even for the A players, they are quite passive. Oh, Disco Doppelin. If he just gets a right time, if he gets a flash out from his teammate, Bafiku, that's another big kill. Disco Doppelin at least finds the trade.
Can't find the follow-up though. Damage to 19. Nade onto Disco does not take him down. Back out to the kitchen and library areas. The AWP of MHL fires away. Shox with the AWP has already got a kill, looking for his 2K, potentially even his 3rd. He rounds that corner, so aggressive, finds himself 1, but no more than that. Disco Doppelin pop flashing his way through. He's got no HP to work with, and that's an easy frag for Furlan. Really needed the support of Bubble. And in towards mid, he will look to make his way in for a retake here. He's got a kit, he's got a smoke. But again, just this man advantage for the T side should be enough to end off this round and end off this half flawlessly for XCOM AGO. Bubble with a hell of a clutch. Peeking into dark, not seeing Farlam. Smoke down towards the new boxes, might force MHL away. Isolating that kill, no, running out of ammo and running out of chances. 21-18, XCOM AGO. Looking like they might finally just do it here, Dweg.
Yeah, it certainly does seem like that's going to be the case. Yes, we've seen a phenomenal T side, but you've got to think 3 in a row just to take us to another OT. It's going to be a difficult task. And Groovy, come on, mate. Are you sure about this? They've got double AWPs and the auto sniper. I don't know. I don't know about this, Jay.
This is confidence.
It is. It certainly is.
This is confidence. This is real big confidence here. And look at Fiku down towards the mid position with the M4. If they concede off the back of this round, then it's going to be only their faults here. Bubble does find the opening kill. Look at the auto sniper of Groovy just scoped in, looking around for something out here towards this mid position. The burst pick has gone the way of X-Smash, but at least XCOM AGO have kept them passive.
That's a great advantage. We saw the aggression coming out. Groovy. Oh, what a shot coming out from Shox. And well, they know now. They know an auto sniper's in play. But that's the man advantage being given back. 4-on-4, X-Smash. They've got a single lurk out towards the B bomb site. They've got the apartments control. And Groovy, don't tell me he's going to be able to follow up on another kill. Oh, he does! The auto sniper! And that's going to give them the advantage.
One tap to the head, one spam to the leg. Still 3 snipers left. He's going in for more, but Disco Doppelin finally shuts him down. There's an AWP on Fallen here towards the B site. Got to get this kill on Bubble. If he goes down, he could concede another round back to the X-Smash lot. Behind the coffins, he will look on, not see the player that's already crossed. Still look for the AWP that could cross back all the same. Seeing the gun barrel connecting that shot, dropping that bomb, calling in for his backup as well. Will blind fire, but not connect anything more. Bubble's going to aggress against him. Bomb plant, he hears it, tries to take that shot but can't deny it. So 3 versus 2, retake up for XCOM AGO. MHL gonna make his way in, sees Disco out in the open, good dink back, but a kill comes in. Furlan is seen to even standing. They've got a player also swinging in from the back. He could line them both up, and indeed he does take one. Can't pick back on second. Bubble trying to survive for him and his team, but he just can't do it. 22-18, XCOM AGO will claim overtime, claim their map pick, and take us to a 3rd map of Train.
And I'll tell you what, there was a bit of a choke in regulation. They were up 14-5. They brought us to OT, but they just get there in the end. And I'll tell you what, the confidence, the comeback in OT, and for X-Smash, yeah, they might be a little bit disappointed with that, but they've got to be hyped in the fact they made that so damn close.
They really did, man. Like, it. Considering the last map went to 16-14 as well, and this one's gone all the way to OT, like, both teams have their plaudits to take, man. Like, that looked absolutely brilliant from both sides. And honestly, looking into Train, considering what we've seen from both these teams, considering how down to the wire it really has been, like, I don't really know which way this one's going to go, mate. Like, you can throw all caution to the wind and all map details and statistics and picks and what have you, because we're dead set even going into our final map.
No, we absolutely are. There is no doubt about it. It has been 2 very, very close maps in this series. And honestly, Jay, I think we're in for an element of surprise. I can't tell you who's going to be able to win the 3rd map. You'll just have to wait and see. We're going to go to a short little break. We'll be back with the 3rd map of Train. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back to Malta Vibes. We're getting into our final map of just the semi-finals here. We are going to see X-Smash take on XCOM AGO in what has been a fun little series so far. We went 16-14 on the X-Smash map pick of Mirage. We went 22-18 on the AGO map pick of Inferno. Now one final map stands in their way. It's Train up next here, Dweg. I don't even know what else to say anymore. I've been seeing what we've seen so far. Like, I think we've seen enough Counter-Strike to cover a best of 5 at this point. You know, like we just got through so many rounds and so many down to the wire affairs that at this stage, this really just could be anyone's ball game.
Yeah, it really could do. I mean, you look at how long we've been going for now. It's 3 hours, and we've only just about started the third map of the series. That really shows like how many rounds we've gone through. 30 rounds in the first map, OT on the second. And look, going into Train, again, it could really be anyone's game. This is so back and forward. We saw a fantastic comeback from X-Smash on that second map. They were honestly inches away. They were inches away in getting that 2-0 victory, but AGO, they just nudged out when needed.
Absolutely, and the end result, of course, means that this third map will end up being played out. And again, we mentioned at the pre-game that this is a great map for the Vito's context because obviously it is such a well-played and well-won map there for the AGO camp. The reason why we say it's not the case for the X-Smash guys is because they've only played it 3 times in the last few months, and they haven't even played it at all ever since May. So it's been like a good month or so since we've last seen them play here on Train, and that is already like not a good sign. Like, yes, it was some good victories. You know, they had a close map up against the likes of Secret, and you know they were able to take a victory against the likes of Simon and Skade, which are also 2 okay teams. But you compare that to the 13 times that AGO have played it, most recently against Hellraisers, which was a win. You know, you're looking at this situation where it's like the map statistics just lean further over to AGO overall. Now, again, I only want to take that with a pinch of salt because having seen what we've seen so far with both the maps going down to us a few different rounds and we would have seen a different result, you know, I don't want to take too much stock in those map statistics, Tweg. So from your perspective, what did you see that really stood out over the last 2 maps that could potentially play a factor into getting this next map on the board?
Well, that T-side, man. Like, that T-side from X-Smash was unreal. We saw raw aimers just really coming alive. Now, on a map like Train, you certainly need that, right? Because a lot of the time, you can't really default on Train. It's very difficult. It's not a map where you could default a lot. You can't gain a lot of map control for the T-side unless the execution comes through. So really, what I'm going to see here, or what I'm expecting to see from X-Smash on the T-side, is once that utility gets out towards the outer bomb site or the inner bomb site of B, is just the AKs going nuts. That's what we need to see from them. Taking those long-range fights against the M4s, trying to get into some really big opening kills, and the AWPers. The AWPers need to play a big part going into this matchup because Train, I mean, historically, it always comes down in a best-of-3 series. If it's a last map, the AWPers a lot of the time are the reason why a single team gets the edge over another.
Yeah, and I guess it's contrary to Inferno, where we said the riflers are going to have to step up. Well, now here come the big green guns and their moment to shine. Now, overall, in terms of statistics, talking about some of the AWPers that we saw, MHL was certainly standing out over his first map of Mirage, and then FaZe wasn't having a fantastic time at all. But overall, Inferno, FaZe did step up a little bit. They had a bit of a weird sort of like, you know, stat line overall, and MHL was easily the top fragger for AGO, so he certainly turned things over to their right. And so, from the momentum basis, right now we're looking at MHL swinging into this final map with a really big chip on his shoulder and a great opportunity. And for FaZe, he hasn't really stood out as highly as I hope we would have liked to see in this one. So for me, like, it does give AGO a slight advantage in that respect, in that AWP being able to have a ton of impact, especially when it comes to T-side facing, which is what MHL, that's his bread and butter here in Counter-Strike.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, he found 23 kills in regulation on the T side of Inferno, and that really just, you know, says it all. He's a great T-sided AWPer, especially on a map where it's very difficult to AWP on the T side of Inferno. He does a really great job. So certainly going forward, they've got the advantage in terms of the AWPs. But the thing is, again, it comes down to the rifling duels. Towards that back end of Inferno, we saw the T side playing with so much confidence. I mean, do you remember the time where Grux was like wide swinging an AWPer? Like, why is he peaking against an AWPer and winning out fights? That's insane.
That's the concern, I think, that probably is going to be lingering in the back of the mind of AGO, is that, yeah, statistically, right now, things do favor them because their AWPer is currently performing in quite a fashion, but it's like, think about how easily, you know, X-Smash were able to shut them down. Again, with just basic swings, you know, like, Crux's particular sequences towards the end of regulation where he had that face in towards mid, took the player out towards balcony, and then face towards low and got a triple kill, you know? Like, think about that. That's insane. And virtually no utility to support it, for one thing. Low HP after the first duel as well. Like, you just shouldn't be able to win those kind of frags, and it's partially down to the fact that Grux is just being a god, but also down to the fact that there's a couple of mistakes being made there by the AGO camp. So a couple of things to think about here. It's not all going to be AWPs. The rifles do have a little something to play here, which is where I want to transition into the next point here about this pregame. Let's talk about some of the riflers. You know, we talked a lot about Shox in that first map. He stood out, had a bit of a quieter game over on Inferno, but still had his impact. And Fiku went really quiet in the second map. So I wanted to talk a little bit about those two in particular. You know, like Shox still holding his own, being a little bit more consistent than Fiku, and given all the praise that we gave him off the back of that first map, like, is he going to start to struggle going into Train?
Well, you know, you'd hope not. You really hope not if you're, your AGO, because, well, he put up a stellar performance on that first map, and you're right, went incredibly quiet in the second. So for him, they've got to say, right, that second map was close. We did bring it back. It could have been a lot easier, but it wasn't. Let's not even think about what happened in map number 1 and map number 2. Let's just focus on what we can do on Train. Focus on the strat heavy stuff. Focus on getting our players in the right positions. Furlan was doing a great job in terms of T-siding, opening, especially around that banana position. He was very aggressive. He was very in your face. He was finding a lot of opening picks. That's what they need to find on Train. I would say, at least for Fiku, get him consistent, but get MHL firing up and get Furlan consistently finding opening kills on the T side. That's what they need, consistency for me.
I mean, Furlan obviously being part of that main sort of core, he's certainly going to be one of the guys that needs to step up. And I think that core actually is something I want to talk about very quickly here, because whilst we have seen a bit of like of a rise from Fiku, that core of MHL, Groovy, and Furlan has sort of fallen off the edge a little bit. They haven't been quite as consistent as you'd like them to be. Because remember, whenever we saw this team play, you know, their main stars were falling behind, but that core was always constantly and consistently reliable. I don't think you can say the same thing at the moment here, because they've had a couple of drop-off performances, and overall in this matchup, you know, Groovy's been very quiet in this one. Furlan has had his standout performances on Mirage. He was also second bottom of the board there for the second map. So, like, talking about him and talking about AGO as well, like, you know, Furlan does need to step things up, but I mean, you know, he hasn't been able to show the same number of kills or the same amount of momentum as we wanted to hopefully see from him.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And I suppose it's a little bit of a shame, especially from veteran players. I mean, you look at two players in particular, you know, I know we talk about the trio of MHL, Furlan, and Groovy, but you look at Furlan and Groovy, like, these guys, you know, they've been to a major before. They've been playing together since like 2015 on teams like eBettle and Vexed. Like, these guys are a permanent duo and have been for many years. And you're right, in recent times, they haven't been able to find the success in terms of consistency. It is a little bit of a worrying sign, but at least they bring the experience. You look at the X-Smash side, they are filled with experience. They have had teams that have won LAN events. They've played in, you know, the top region of Counter-Strike for at least a certain time in their career. Furlan and Groovy, going into this third map, especially on a map like Train, it is the last map of the series. The winner progresses on to a grand final. They've got to be the ones that really calm down the players. Calm down Fiku and MHL. They're the youngsters of the team and kind of have that big leadership role. Yes, I know that Oscar is that in-game leader, and maybe there's still some terms of leadership for the other two veteran players, but they need to be making sure their players are calm, they're making sure they're very methodical and not getting over the top of themselves.
Well, I believe our live round is about to go live between these two teams, Greg, so I want to talk about win conditions for these two teams. What are we hoping to see out of a victory from X-Smash? How are we going to see a victory for AGO here?
For X-Smash, they need to get off to a great T start. I would certainly say that they're going to be certainly more comfortable on the CT side, but being able to put up 7-8 rounds on T, get themselves some great momentum, and get themselves a great lead. We saw a massive coming back to the late end of Inferno. That's what they need to bring to the table going on to Train. Bring that momentum forward.
Well, as we look to Train, I want to give a shout out to our titler, of course, that being Gaming Malta, your home of gaming excellence here. Of course, giving away a handful of boot camps in 5-star hotels, of course, for the teams that do manage to win the weeks here at Malta Vibes. It could well be one of these two squads, but they've got to go through each other to get to that point. Knife round victory going the way of XCOM AGO. Which side do they get? CT Cyan most likely is going to be the pick again, with this map being the way that it is. X-Smash, again, they have done some fantastic things on that T side. Do not deny Grux, do not deny anything from these guys. Do not deny Fates even. I mean, the EVL's had a quiet series, but let's see if he can swing up with the AWP. And Shox as well will be one of my main men to watch. For me, those are the guys I want to watch there for X-Smash, seeing if they can step up to the plate and make this work for XCOM AGO's CT camp. We're going to see the pistol buy-ups coming through here between these two teams as we kick things off in our third map of this series. A quick moment as well to take a look at our odds via Loot Bet. Of course, our betting partners still favouring XCOM AGO here. I wouldn't be surprised if that had been tested, but most certainly they are looking like a very, very good stance. Again, if you do want to get involved and bet on some notified matches, click the banner under the Twitch channel and get a €100 bonus on your deposit. So, defuse kit for Furlan with a smoke, a flash smoke HE here for Bubble, smoke flash for Disco Doplin, and the P250 is what the boot here on the T side. They're playing directly into the brown halls.
And they've taken the control pretty much immediately. Almost no aggression coming out from XCOM AGO, playing very passive into the sides. And it's just going to be a simple execution. This should be a retake setup coming out for the CTs.
SP from MHL, good kill from Disco Doplin. Fiku able to respond to a 4 versus 4 scenario. Taps up to the backline. Shox is going to get caught off guard, but he's not going to take much damage for his trouble. It's Grux facing into the sandwich area, and Furlan will drop the man. Quick pop from Shox, finds himself 1 and 2, not quite 3. Groovy gets 2 to respond though, so it's all left to Bubble on this backstab. The T-side forces have been taken down. I think that was planted off to the side of the train though, so Bubble might have a line in. He sees Groovy taps his head off his shoulders, but it's planted towards default. And with Furlan knowing what's up, he's going to stick to the defuse, kick things off for XCOM AGO.
That's really unfortunate. If the site holders would have been able to hold for at least another 5-10 seconds, then that flank from Bubble probably wins them out the round. But like you said, Jay, you know, that bomb being planted to the default position, Furlan knows exactly what's up. He gets that smoke down and just sticks the defuse. But with the bomb plan coming through, it will be the rebuy investment coming out for the T side. And looking at the buy from XCOM AGO, you'd have to say that X-Smash have probably got the better buy in this.
Yeah, I mean, the bomb plan certainly helps things out in that respect. AKs and Galils. The scouts being the main highlight weapons of the AGO camp, alongside the M4 of Furlan. Fates going up towards the top of the trains, hoping to get a frag. But nothing is going to be cut off here by the X-Smash campers. They're just going to take a lot of damage here in the early plays from XCOM AGO. Smoke down from Furlan. Start taking face in, but not finding anything past the smoke.
A little bit of Ivy presence coming out for X-Smash, and well, these are the drive-by peaks that we know that we can see from X-Smash. And Shox, considering he's getting taken down quite low, he's actually going to swap out to a Galil and swap with a teammate. But a man advantage for X-Smash, hardly any utility, so it's all going to be dry peaks.
UMP for Oscarish. On for the blue train entrance here towards T-Con. MHL grabs that quick scout shot to Shox. M4 from Furlan finds Grux next up. Another good shot going to be landed. Not quite the kill coming in for the scout. Bubble is able to respond, and FaZe turns into a 3-on-2, making it 1. And X-Smash may have just done enough here. SMG for Fika as our loyalty player on the side. Both players going to line up for him. Basically against all the T side though. He can only do so much. 2K for Disco Doplin, and we're back at evens.
And we sure are, and that's the thing. You get those Galils and those AKs out into the right hands, and well, they can certainly do some damage. XCOM AGO, maybe, well, look, it's unfortunate because they only win out the pistol round with one player staying alive, so the buy-in for round number 2 is not fantastic. I have to rebuy all that Kevlar. And, well, considering it's double eco status, we have to see a force buy coming through from XCOM AGO. They need to regain the lead here, Jay.
Deagle's out, Galil in, Mac 10 round the corner against Groovy, looking for the frag. He drops the first man. Deagle out for Oscarish next up. Grux is right close to him, so Can find a quick frag back, but Disco knows exactly where he is, and Shox will burn Fern alive. So Chaos in the A bomb site, and X-Smash come out on top. Definitely tagged up on some players, but still alive and kicking with a bomb plant to be secured and a retake that surely AJ should not be able to land here. A good shot actually lands from the scout, which could potentially end up with a kill if it goes below the train. He's trying to look for that angle, but just not going to land there. So Deagle faced, taken out by Bubble next in MHL with the scout, the last thing left standing, 1-on-4 scenario, back towards CT spawn. That'll be a second on the board for the T side.
And, well, X-Smash, it's a great change-up. It's very quick out to the outer bomb site. They get those smokes to kind of utilize the position and try and force the CTs back. So much Molotov damage comes through. And, well, yeah, look, good damage coming on to Bubble, Fates, and Shox, but it's not kills, Jay. And that's the important thing, is the fact that this force buy has not been successful. X-Smash getting off to a good lead on the T side, getting some early momentum. MHL trying to hold on to this scout, and, well, he should be able to at least.
2-1 on the start here for the X-Smash side. Again, AJ winning out that pistol, but the T side are chiming in. And Shox coming alive very early on here in this map up. Definitely what we want to see right now from X-Smash, especially from him as well. He's on a Mac 10, interestingly enough. I would have thought they'd put the rifle on this man, but alas. Top down, AK in, spray through, taking out one player, doing a lot of damage in his own right. Shox is going to get himself a couple of decent frags here with a Mac 10 indeed. One pick goes his way. MHL and Groovy do respond back with a couple of picks, so the CTs are doing their damage. P2K drops that bomb, in fact. But now 1-on-2. The scout not looking the right way at the right time. That could have been a decent tag on towards Bubble. A frag on Disco Doppler as well could have easily set himself up for a round turnaround, but not to be in the end. For an eco, though, for XCOM AGO, going to be a decent amount of damage done to the buy now.
That's a very good round. It's at least trying to keep the economy line low for X-Smash. Was looking a little bit scary considering how many players went down, but straight away, they're going to go for the AWP. It is Glass Cannon from MHL. And well, Fates has gone for one on the T side. And you got to think here for X-Smash, they win out this round. They go 5-1 up on T side. That could be the start they're looking for.
So far, no start at this stage. It's just peeks in from the necessary AWP angles. The AWP of the T side in particular facing in against Furlan with the M4. Oh, not gonna land. So close there. I mean, just probably moments away. Fired a little bit earlier, that would have been a kill, but Furlan able to keep that IV presence. Starts swinging aggressive, but he does pay for it this time. He almost drops down the likes of Shox, but that kill coming in is a start for X-Smash.
Now, with Fates running away from Ivy, Furlan gets the idea that they're actually backing off and tries to get aggressive, but does not realize the fact that Shox could be there. At least they traded back. The double boost coming out from Popdog, and as soon as XCOM AGO get a man advantage, it is traded right back.
Now 4-on-3, favor to Smash. Damage again on Bubble and Shox, so could end up falling to the AGO players, but M4 pushing up from Fiku, hoping to hold some sort of contention here in the upper portions of the bomb site. Flashes at the ready as Fates looks for his way out into the A site hit. The T's are going to make their way in with Popdog contested. Groovy pushes forward, looks for the first pick here towards the exit frag. It's going to be Fates falling. AWP, not sure where to aim, takes damage, falls back. 12 HP for MHL. Groovy on site with 15. And Disco moving in against Fiku. Next up, flashes in, do blind off the T-side players as well, and Groovy can catch a kill for it. MHL gets Shox next up, and Groovy swings in its stopper at the perfect time to get Bubble off guard. 3 kills for him, 2 rounds on the board for XCOM AGO.
And honestly, that flashbang probably lost them that round, right? I mean, the flashbang comes out from Fiku. It actually blinds the T-sided player, and, well, if they would have taken down Fiku, that would have been a 3-on-2 advantage. And you probably would have expected for XCOM AGO that they don't continue the aggression. Groovy, perfect swing coming out. And but it is a great round coming out for the Poles. They are going to be able to grunt their second. Don't quite reset the economy just yet. And 2 AKs up on the CT side, and it's going to be the Brown Hall's presence to come out from X-Smash. Haven't really seen too much over to this B-bomb site other than the pistol round to start off the map. The investment in with the AWP of MHL.
Face out here towards connector, but not seeing anything early on here. The contact plays out to the upper entrance. Molotov's out. AWP in for MHL, looking for Bubble first up here. The flash is out, evaded by the AWP. Sees them crossing out. One player dropping, gets 2 picks towards upper though. Grox with the Tech 9 left alone to fall all the same. Clean sweep round coming in from the CT side. It's 3-3, we're all evened up.
Great hold coming out from MHL towards that heaven position, shutting it down while his teammates chime into the action to deal with the ramp players. And I can certainly see this being a very, very close last map of the series. Now, XCOM AGO, at least now they've got a little bit of momentum. This is 2 rounds in a row for them. They're starting to build up the money line. It's going to be a really harsh eco. So for X-Smash, 1 kill at most is really what we can expect from them.
Glocks in the AWPs, the AK is coming out, M4 and FAMAS. Barlin taking out Shocks to begin things. M4 with that pick. We'll be seeing players jumping around the T-Con area. Slight push out from Grox here. He's waiting towards Sandwich. He does find 1 player towards Ivy. That's a good pick. Only a Glock here to face in, and he's so far pushed up. This is going to get real awkward. Sprays up. Damage has been done to several players here. FAMAS in, Disco down. So is Fates next up. And this will be a 4th for XCOM AGO. Now, bringing us back to the lead for the CT side.
And X-Smash, they need a response at this point. I mean, one thing we certainly spoke about in the pregame is that Fates needs to really get a good going and a good showing in the early stages of train. And he's currently only sitting 1-7. So not the best of starts. And well, we have seen the double AWP presence a lot of times from AGO in the past, especially on train, and they've brought it out. Now the money line can help them.
Rox AK so close to Groovy. He's going to pop straight through without any flashbang. He's going to hear the player spraying through, but Groovy's going to catch off, seeing his legs below the smoke as it starts to clear. Frag found, smoke down. Going to keep Fates at bay, and Furlan will provide support with the AWP pick. So 3 players left standing for X-Smash. Smoke in, Disco looking to hopefully drop down through Pop Dog. Bubble. We'll try and join Shocks here to pick up that bomb, potentially push it into the bomb site. 55 seconds to the 5 versus 3. Damage continuing to be done here. The Disco Doppelers. Groovy finds yet another pick in the midst of the smoke here in Pop Dog. 2K to his name and 2 players left for X-Smash. This is looking like it'll be another AGO round. Bubble will get Groovy at least for 1 frag, but 40 seconds and there's many more CTs to deal with.
Yeah, you got to expect this is going to be another round for XCOM AGO. Bubble can't find anything, and well, there's the AWPs chiming into the action. 3 kills off the back of AWPs. And for XCOM AGO, so far putting up very good stances on the gun rounds. And what I love is how aggressive Groovy is, trying to play really up close and personal with that smoke out from T-Con. Catches off that opening pick. And for X-Smash, really have not had too many opportunities so far. And you've got to think, 2 AKs on the CT side, 2 AWPs, they need to keep trying to keep these in play.
Double AWP set up here for the CT defensive. 1 towards Ivy, 1 towards T-Con. Spray through from Groovy. Does not quite find the pick he wants to. Bubble will... And Matt Tin in aggressive to take down 1 player at least. Squish there to cut them off here towards Pop Dog and only get himself 2 picks of his own. So the trades are working pretty well for X-Smash. The bomb on the site. Fiku is planted right below him. And actually with Disco Doppelin catching that player off, they can't deny the plant. So 3-on-2 scenario for the post plant. AGO are at the disadvantage.
Oh, this could be so big from Bubble. There is no way that they expect the T-side player to be coming out from Ivy. But, oh, Bubble, he needs to be able to strike. The thing is, though, Jay, he's only got 4 points of health.
He does get 1 kill back, Furlan. left alone on the site. Is he going to stick it? I don't think that smoke's got enough time behind it. I think it will fade as he starts defusing. So pops out for it, couldn't find that bomb. And will end up going down for a 4th on the board for X Smash. Still trying to keep it within evens of the AGO lead.
Now, unfortunately the fact is that that's not even a full gun round from X Smash. That's just a half buy. And what we saw how much damage that MAC-10 was able to do from Bubble. And it means that for XCOM AGO, they're only going to be able to invest that single AWP into the following round. They just don't have the money, or at least they don't want to be able to spend so much money onto getting that secondary AWP out.
Pressure coming in from Oscarish and Groovy, looking on for the AWP. Fates couldn't land his spray. Damage all he can. Incendiary's up. That's a drive-by shot from Grux again, opening things up in the frag counts here for X Smash. And now trying to get the hell out of dodge. Spray through will not be able to get Oscarish down. A 5-on-4 situation. Bubble and Disco. Grux will drop to the hands of MHL in the end. The AWP is what gets the kill. T still looking to split in towards A, but options are still available with a minute on the clock. Pop Dog presence, T-Con can wrap around towards the brown halls, and B could be a target. It looks like that might be the call.
And we haven't really seen them hit B just too many times. I think they've hit it 2 rounds out of the past 9. And setting themselves up, they've got the bomb with them, and, well, MHL's going to be the only man at least close to this B bomb. So if he gets taken down, well, this is the round over. They have to go for the save. There's no way they can go for this.
And Fate's landing that shot. Unfortunately, he is low on the frag counts, but his frags have been very impactful. Basically forcing him to go back and save here for XCOM AGO. So do the 5-on-5 in terms of the scoreboard. X Smash standard evens against the AGO camp, and that is a good start. That is a good way to get things back into control. You know, with the CT side being contested heavily by the Ts, things could get very, very interesting.
I mean, unfortunately, even though they convert a 5th round, Jay, they only take 2 players down. So XCOM AGO, they'll be able to get a buy back into the next, no problem. They can drop an AWP over to MHL from Fiku. Oscar can drop an M4 over to Groovy. So they'll be able to get a buy back. But the most important thing really is how many T-side rounds X Smash can try and get. The more the merrier. And, well, it all really comes down in that last round, taking down the only B defender. XCOM AGO, for most of these rounds, Jay, are not playing 2 players at the B bomb site. It's really only 1.
Boss play out from that B bomb site from 2 players coming in. We've got Bubble. Passive of his own. Actually, a 3rd player going to go ahead and join the fray from upper. AWP to MHL ready to receive it. Fiku spotted, but he plays anti-flasher and gets that quick kill. Starting things off for the AGO side. So once things get stale, they start changing up the pace and changing up the setups here. Grox does enter, find a good pick, however. Off position, he will continue to work out. Disco Doppler also popping out of the pop dog area. Shocks here on Ivy is going to get overwhelmed by Furlan. And now they've seen the AWP continuing to burn. Damage done to 29 points of health. Disco will catch on Fiku next. So a 3-on-3 scenario. The CTs are being contested again by X-Smash. Even though they were able to get the opening, picks Disco. Doppler swinging in on Groovy. We'll trade him next. Down man advantage picked up by the Ts. B site could be contested by the CT forces, but for the most part, it's relatively open from here.
And they've got a couple of options, and Disco Doppler, oh man, already 3 kills in the round. And, well, Furlan, last one left, and even this sandwich player should be able to take him down, get that information from Grux. And, well, there it is. X Smash taking the lead on the T-side of train, completely resetting the economy line. This is a great stance, and it all comes off the back. The XCOM AGO, they invest those double AWPs, they lose the rounds, and from there, they have not been able to build up a bank.
AGO running a stuff because of that. Just basic eco coming in for this CT side. The smoke flash and H here across Oscarish and Groovy, and that is going to be it. Upgraded Deagles as well could do some damage with the Deagle headshot. And indeed, Oscarish will find one good pick. Furlan's going to catch Bubble off guard. Fates will respond to Oscarish. And Disco sees another player also at the red-blue cross. Smokes down towards the connector area. Disco Doppler making his way in. They have no idea this player's here, especially as Fiku's pushed in Pop Dog. They're going to think that it's completely clear. He sees the man on the bomb site now. Turns around as Shox comes out, and that's going to be a pick. A second going the way of the CT side. And FaZe is left alone. The lack of money does not mean lack of skill, it seems, as Groovy closes it out. And XCOM AGO turn it back around against XSmash.
Oh, and they just get picked apart. That's really unfortunate from XSmash. It looked like Disco Doppler was making a huge play, but the swing coming out from Fiku just gives him so much information. Well, what a round to win from XCOM AGO to just kind of kickstart their way back in the first half. And so far, Groovy's been really stepping up. 15 kills in the past 12 rounds, Jay, and it was someone we spoke about into the pregame, a veteran player that needs to step up, and well, he's done so on the third map so far. And Big HG coming out into that T-Cob position, already taking Fates quite low.
Orp in for Fates, looking for the slow face against MHL, but MHL catches him off instead. A 5-on-4 situation. AK looking in for the spray, but Fallen gets that kill instead. That is going to be a 2-man advantage for AGO and for XSmash. Well, they do lose a player for that one, but more tech pulse to come in the freeze time. For now, they are just playing around their common positions and continuing to hold their control. Still a 2-man advantage regardless of that DC. The nades up, the spray through against Bubble. That should finish off the job against the man. Indeed, Fiku gets credited with the kill. So Shox going down next. Disco Doppler last standing. And these rounds, when they come in from AGO, they feel very, very confident. It's like picking apart XSmash piece by piece.
It certainly does help having the AKs up on the CT side, but yeah, no, you're absolutely right. They certainly do find a lot of confidence, and sometimes it comes off the opening pick. Once they find an opening pick for the polls, it seems like everything goes their way. They get a lot of information, they make sure they're cross-firing with one another, and well, for Disco Doppler, 1 versus 4, he does have the bomb on his back at least, but MHL, oh, I thought he was holding the Ivy angle. Actually seems like no one for the CT side was watching that position.
One exit frag, but it doesn't do much in the grand scale of things. Now AGO are really getting spooled up here and into the last few rounds of this half. This CT side. And a rebuy and plenty of weaponry as well. Double AWP setup coming in from the CTs. The AK's on 2, save with the M4 Oscarish as well. AWP Disco Doppler onto a half buy for XSmash at best. I mean, a Zeus in for Shox, and they'll just state exactly what they're going to be bringing out for the moment. Out here into the brown halls for the moment. He's playing carefully on their default, hoping to catch AGO off guard if they have aggressed here. They haven't. They're just playing 4-player stack towards A, 1 player with the AK on B, and ready for the hit when it comes through.
And honestly, if this AWP strikes, or at least takes a shot, then AGO might think it's a complete force buy. That certainly is not the case. I'm putting a little bit of presence over towards that B bomb, so not too much. And well, for the CT side, it's only Fiku here at B.
Time's ticking. Fiku back behind White, back behind the bomb train. Footsteps of rotations coming in for the AWP. He does get picked apart. The Disco Doppler strikes with his AWP. Fiku can chime in, take down 1, takes down 2. Some face here from Disco Doppler, gets a trade back to a 3-on-3. So spotting another player, landing only that tag on Farland, flicking back towards the cross, but Oscarish takes out his teammate. 1 pistol falls, 2nd pistol falls. The AWP here has got 3 kills. Can he find the quadra? Can he find the ace? He'll shoulder bait, try to see the AWP, sees him now, takes him down. Molotovs to the site will try force him forward. Oscarish is so close, and the AWP does not land its no-scope. Oscarish will save the round for AGO, but one man did so much damage to that entire CT side. So we're up on the half for the CT force.
Honestly, Disco Doppler, that's huge. That is such a big round. The single AWP, they get a bomb plant, they get 4 kills, and Oscarish, I mean, there was certainly an opportunity there for the AWP to win it out. Now they do get the AWP out for Fates on the T side, but there's no armor. It's going to be a glass cannon AWP. And if X Smash can get 7 rounds, they would be able to put up a pretty good T side. Even 6 for that matter is pretty convincing so far. And this could be a fast play, at least out towards the T composition. Fates is blinded, can't hit the opener.
Nade in. Drop down towards Pop Dog. That's 2 kills for Oskrish as Bubble and Disco couldn't line themselves up. Had to react to that HE being thrown to evade the damage. Instead, they go out of the frying pan into the fire. Fates will catch off Oskrish at least. But now it's to fall back to his teammate. Try and join the bomb to find some sort of formulated push, but in a 4 versus 2. It feels like the round's already been won, especially with Furlan picking apart Shocks, leaving Fates left alone. Bomb out in CT control, T-Con control established by Groovy. And there's just no way left into this round. This will be a 9-6 half. Favor to XCOM, AGO. It's Groovy gets that final kill. It makes it official.
And we saw patches to come out from X Smash. We saw 2 times they were able to win 3 rounds in a row on the T side. But all in all, XCOM AGO, they do at least get the lead at the end of the first half. And it seems like for the first half, we saw XCOM AGO getting 9 rounds on T for Mirage for the first half. They got 10 rounds on T on Inferno. They've now got 9 rounds on CT to start. So it always seems for the polls, they are able to get a very good lead at the end of the first half.
Still a 3-round difference, so one of the closer halves we've had between these 2 teams. X Smash doing pretty well on their T side, so already that's a great start for AGO. Their statistics show that they're not particularly fantastic on the T side half, so the efforts thrown up by X Smash have put them in a really, really good position by comparison here. And just some players really stepping up to the plate, like Disco Doppelin has some fantastic sequences with the AWP, doing such a great job with the AWP. I mean, we're mostly focusing on some of the other players when we're talking about X Smash, but he's really been, the star fragger so far. 17 kills in just 15 rounds, and yeah, it is trumped by Groovy, and the general spread of the kills is much more, it is much more sort of, what's the word? Fluent? Not fluent. Defined, I think, from the CT forces. 11 kills between 18 and the top 4 fraggers of that CT camp, so things have been looking good for AGO, but there is a lot of potential in X Smash, I feel like.
No, absolutely. I mean, 6 rounds on T is pretty good. It's a great stance. I mean, Train is probably one of those maps in the map pool where the CT side is obviously a lot easier, and it's easy to be able to get sort of a 9-6 half. So I would say for both sides, they did relatively well in the first half. It wasn't as if one team did exceptionally better than another. But it really comes off the start. It comes off whether XCOM AGO can win out this Pestle, get some momentum going in their favor. Considering how close the score lines have been on 2 maps of the series so far, you can only imagine it's going to be the same going into this last.
Well, pistols out on the pistol round. Double flash and smoke for Oskrish. Smoke diffuse for Disco Doppelin as we go forward onto the final half of our map up here of regulation, at least in this series. AGO leading, a good T-side kickoff could put them within stead. Eliminating X Smash in the semi-finals. We've got 3 players here ready to move in from ramp. Smoke down towards connector. Flashbang should go over to allow the entries coming in. Disco's going to see most of them. Bubble's going to get tapped up and take it down. 2 players to cross. The shots don't quite land from the USP as Groovy gets aggression straight up in. Fon's going to get that kill on Face. Groovy going to wrap back in over the connector entrance. 5 on 3, pushing out to CT. Gets shot down to 2. There's Disco and Grux fall quick. It will be a quick 10th for AGO all the same. Sheer aggression from the T side and starting things off right on the second half.
And that's really aggressive coming out from XCOM AGO. They just push so aggressively out through that B bomb site. We see Groovy even trying to make his way in through CT spawn and just trying to take the fight with those Glocks. Get up close and personal, see if they can get the aggression out. And it's not a force buy from X Smash. This is a little bit interesting, not completely uncommon. but just going for USPs, meaning that the rifles are going to be up into the following round. And Oscarich, he's got the bomb and, well, he's got all the information.
Groovy, Oscarich, 3 picks to be found. Nice and easy, nice and clean. 12 HP for Oscarich. It could have gotten a bit awkward, but alas, it is what it is. 11 to the board of the T-side camp. X-Smash should be on a rebuy here with their M4s. No AWPs. Scouting for MHL instead. Galil's on 2, AK's on 2. T-side defaults. It's the X-Smash defensive setup here. Brown Hall's control. Shocks with the M4 will stand by. Get ready to receive them as the Scout gets baited in. Fates now knows that they have that weapon in play. I mean, they only saw the AKs in that last cleanup round of the anti-eco. The M4 of Shocks looking up through Pop Dog. Furlan playing around this position. Smoke down, we'll see a small pixel of the man, but is unable to do anything about it.
And so far, X-Smash haven't really been able to find too much of a contact so far, other than outside this Pop Dog position. Oh, Sharks. So both the players are just completely blind, but Furlan actually loses out that fight. Great trade back coming out from Groovy. They hold on to that 4-4. This could be the quick take to the A-bomb site.
M4 standing by, waiting. Spray through from Groovy, finds one good pick. Fates will get the trade to a 3-on-3. Disco Doplin with the M4 keeps his eyes on T-Con. Oscarich will start peeking out with the Galil. M4 burst up, damage done. Spray through on one man, can't quite find the second. Fiki to a 2-on-2. Bomb's been dropped in the open, and Fiki will fight Fates next up. Bubble to face, bubble to fall. AGO to 12 on the T-side board.
That's great. That is a really big round. So now the CT side, they've got no money, and you've got to think mentally. We've seen them come back. We certainly saw them come back to take us to OT in that second map, but you're looking at potentially a 13-6 deficit. It is not easy to come back on the CT side of train. XCOM AGO, if they can continue this momentum, they've got to look into round number 19 and say, right, we can't lose anyone. Absolutely no one can go down. We've got to keep 4 players staying alive. And for X-Smash, they don't have a massive amount of rounds to work with.
I mean, 4 players alive is still someone going down, but you know, I digress. 5-on-4 situation. Unfortunately, the early aggression from Disco Doplin has been shut down by Furlan. Seeing one player popping out from Olaf as well. Just getting away with the flashbangs coming in from MHL Grux next to 4. Shocks going to get 1 pick. P250 your face drops 1 more. Shocks continuing to flag. The Deagle gets the headshots, and just like that, AGO begin to crumble. Groovy responds with 1, looking at the tops of the trains, sees heads, can't take the players down, though he's desperate to get another kill out of T-Con. The bomb's been dropped, there's 60 seconds left, and the pistols doing so much damage here. Groovy starting to take face, sees 1 more player out, no idea where Fates is at, but fortunately turns on position at the right time and just holds control.
And I said they needed to go into that round without losing any players. They ended up losing 4. Groovy, look, that would have been a pretty difficult clutch. You know, a lot of pressure on the back. Shocks has an insane 3K with the Deagle. I just can't believe how much damage they do. And Groovy, he brings it back. But that was very down to the wire. Very, very close indeed. Great read onto the positions. 13-6. Double orbs coming out for X-Smash. They've got Fates and Disco Doplin. Fast playing towards the Brown Halls and at least establishing some early control. Fates, a dry peek out from Ivy. No support in any kind of a flashbang or a teammate. And MHL, we wins out the opening fight.
Damage done to the X-Smash side. Or by the X-Smash side, I should say. Great opportunity to set things up and swing the momentum back in a very similar fashion to the way Inferno went. But it all comes down to winning this round here. And unfortunately, I have lost the first pick. Damage done in significant amounts to Grux and Disco Doplin. 5-on-4 situation. The T side have the bomb not committing just yet. Groovy with his flashbang over. Flashes in T-side downstairs. Disco Doppler with the AWP, keeping his eyes on upper. No one's making their way out of upper. They're all from ramp. Bomb hasn't yet committed to the site just yet. The spray's awkward. Bubble does take down one of Fiku. The plant does come through to 4 versus 4. MHL firing away against the CT forces. Does not connect that next shot, but continued utility sustaining the choke point positions. Good shot from Groovy, catching Disco as the smoke fades, and now 2 players remain. One spotted out in the open, does get taken out. The foul on the backstab. This is going to be good enough. This is just going to end off the round right here. This is going to end off 14-6 shots with the AWP. No idea he's being hunted, and no idea he's going to die. He will go down in the end. 14-6, favor to the T side, and X-Smash. Well, I mean, it's forced by Central. They don't think they can come back to OT.
Yeah, look, I can understand the play. You going from OT this many rounds down, it's certainly difficult and something you can't prepare for. Groovy, 27 kills and only 11 deaths at the moment for the Polish side. And for X-Smash, it would be so unfortunate to see them give up map point and series point up to the AGO camp, and it's fast out to the A-bomb side, at least for Ostrich to get into the Olive position.
AK shot from Ostrich, smoke down. M4 for Gruck, keeping his eyes on. The Molotovs coming out towards E-box do get extinguished, and damage has been done to Ostrich next. 19 HP to the 5-on-4 situation. And Gruck's facing in, MHL taking him down. So 3 players left standing. Famas in for Disco. Doplin gets fragged out. So does Shocks. Bubble last man standing, 1-on-5. And this is the confident AGO we wanted to see on Inferno. This is the confident AGO we wanted to see at the beginning of this map up, and it's coming straight up here on the T side. Map and series point and semi-final point as well. 9 rounds to go for X-Smash to get to overtime. They have no choice but to force the buy up here, else they will be out of Malta vibes. Frag going to be fouled at least by Bubble on MHL. But XCOM AGO can hear the calling of the grand finals. One more round to tip them over the edge and into that all-important matchup.
And to think we're in a position where we saw the possibility of a 2-0 to come out from X-Smash in the back end of Inferno. Bubble will be able to pick up an AK and should be able to hold on to it at least. But 15-6, you've got to think, surely there is no way of a choke to come out, especially with not even the money being there for the CT side. 15 rounds up for the Poles. One more round away from going to that grand finals. Man, what a series we've seen. What an absolute series.
But it looks like with this round, it may all come to an end. Triple scout out, AWP straight in for MHL. Heads will roll past the ticket booth wall bang. Groovy's going to get Bubble next up. Damage sustained, but not that much. And B-site basically has a line directly into it. They can rotate the bomb, they can push it in. Bit of aggression from Shocks, going to get caught off guard by Ostrich next, so Grux and Fates. The last 2 players standing. This round is over, this map is over, this series is over. As XCOM AGO look to go 16-6 up here. A good kill from Grux will find 1 kill, but as his teammate falls, it's this AWP versus 5, and it's just impossible. AGO, the Poles, will look to face up against Nordavind in our grand final for Malta Vibes Week 1. An effort and a half from X-Smash, looking at several points they could have taken control of this series, but just as we go to train, everything falls apart.